Naruto sat atop Hokage Mountain, specifically on the head of the third Hokage. "Stupid villagers," he whispered. "They can't tell the difference between a tailed beast and a demon." His entire life, Naruto had been forgotten by his family. They were too busy focusing on training Mito to control the Kyuubi's chakra, believing she was the one burdened with the great responsibility. Many villagers noticed that Naruto received no love or affection from them. Hey, Hokage-sama would never ignore anyone, right? So that must mean he really is the Kyuubi with his power gone, a painful memory that Naruto recalled. The villagers and several shinobi would constantly hunt Naruto in what they called a fox hunt, leaving him on the brink of death. They refused to grant him the mercy of a quick death. Many believed that torturing the boy who held the beast's soul was a good punishment for the creature itself, not knowing or caring that they were hurting the son of the Hokage. However, they didn't see him as the Hokage's son, they saw him as the Kyuubi. Occasionally, the Sandaime, third Hokage, would visit Naruto. He was one of the few who gave him the attention all children need. He was one of the few who taught Naruto how to read and write while his parents and godparents, Tsunade and Jiraiya, taught Mito. He would always question them about whether Mito truly needed all those teachers. They would simply reply with a yes and not care that Naruto was left out of the lessons. Naruto would always call the Sandaime Jiji grandpa whenever he saw the kind, old, perverted Hokage. When Naruto was 5, he asked the Sandaime if he was a demon, as the villagers would call him while chasing him with kunao and pitchforks. The Sandaime told him that demons were just like humans, they lived like humans, but due to their power and appearance, they were viewed as evil creatures. He said that true demons were those who committed great evil deeds, and that this applied to everyone, not just a single species. He told Naruto that the Kyuubi and the other tailed beasts were simply mass concentrations of chakra that had become sentient. They took on the appearance of demons because they preferred that look. "Don't worry, Kit. I'm still with you," Kurama told Naruto. Flashback. "Kill the demon. We have to make sure it doesn't poison the mind of our Hokage." "Die, you stupid demon," yelled the good people of Konoha during one of their fox hunts. Naruto lay in a pool of his own blood, waiting for it all to end. He looked up and found himself in a sewer. "Come here," an eerie voice said. Naruto followed the voice into a caged room. "So, you are my jailer," the Kyuubi said. "Why you are the Kyuubi?" asked to frighten Naruto, but his fear was not from the Kyuubi, it was from the villagers' recent attack. "Why, yes, I am human. Now, release me if you want the pain to stop," the Kyuubi ordered. "Okay," Naruto replied after he calmed down from the attack. "Blink, blink. You do know that this will kill you and set me free to do whatever I want," he said. "That includes killing your mother and sister to get my chakra back." He bluffed. "I don't care. A family is people who love you unconditionally, blood-related or not. They can die for all I care," Naruto answered back. "Why?" the Kyuubi asked, curiously. "There is only pain in my life and very little love. I can't stand it anymore. I just want a family that would be there and protect me. Nothing else matters to me. You do know that I'm the mightiest tailed beast to ever walk this earth. I'm full of anger and malice. I could very well destroy the world," he continued to question his odd host. "Why? Why what, Kit? Why are you full of anger? Anger doesn't appear from nowhere. You can't be born angry. Something had to happen to make you angry. This human is smarter than others already," the Kyuubi thought. "Betrayal. Did you know that betrayal is the most common way to make anyone angry, especially humans?" "I was betrayed once by you filthy humans," the Kyuubi answered. "You are right. Betrayal does make people angry. But why me?" he whispered the last part. "I don't feel angry," he said as he started to tear up. "I only feel pain and sadness. I know my family betrayed me, but I feel nothing for them. Not jealousy. Not anger. Not pity or sadness. Only nothing. Why? 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 Why?" cried out Naruto, weeping in front of the Kyuubi. This Kit, could he be the one that father talked about? The one to bring peace to all of us? The one to accept us no matter the difference, the Kyuubi thought. To see a child who held no malice for the parents who betrayed him was something odd. "Kit, I'm sorry. This is all my fault. If I never fell under control, then you wouldn't be in so much pain," the Kyuubi said, as a test. "Under controlled?" he asked as he paid attention to the fox. "Some Uchiha in a mask put me under a powerful genjutsu after extracting me from your mother. Nothing was of my doing. There was a brief moment that I was trying to get away from the village to protect my freedom, but your father stopped me and sealed me up," the Kyuubi answered. "It's not your fault then. It's the Uchiha's fault and Minato's fault," Naruto said as he shook his head. "They want to hurt me no matter what. He really is the one that father spoke about. The one to understand another," the Kyuubi thought. "Wipe your nose, Kit. Don't shed a tear for any one part of this village. They aren't worthy of you. To tell you what, I'll be your friend," said Kurama with a genuine smile. "Really? You want to be my friend?" Naruto said while wiping his tears away. My friends call me Kurama. If you ever need help or need someone to talk to, I'll be there, replied Kurama. Flashback end. From that day, they became friends. Of course, Naruto would only trust his new friend's identity to the Sandaime, Itachi, Mikoto, and the Ichiraku family. Of course, they freaked out when Naruto told them, but Naruto brought them into his mindscape to talk to Kurama. After a few chats, they accepted Kurama's existence and friendship with Naruto. Itachi and the Sandaime became worried about the masked Uchiha because Minato had reported that the fox escaped. He never mentioned a masked Uchiha in his report. Thanks, Kurama, but I only want the pain to be gone, said Naruto. I blame the toads. They are the ones blabbing about the prophecy that the old man mentioned. You humans don't realize that if you intentionally interfere, you'll only make it worse, said Kurama, believing the fault lay with the toads who caused so much pain for his friend. They thought they were helping, but they still hold some responsibility, said Naruto. Besides, Minato and Kushina are at fault too, along with my so-called godparents, said Naruto with a little bit of venom. He no longer saw them as family due to the neglect. His sister had decided not to acknowledge his existence, so he didn't view her as a sister either. However, she only did that to ensure Naruto's safety, believing that close interaction with Kurama would make her lose control of his chakra. She really cared for her Unai-chan, brother. Cough cough, brother complex cough cough. However, nobody knew that Kurama already had chakra, Naruto's chakra, to be exact. It was being used to refill Kurama's own. One day, a mysterious person saved Naruto from one of his beatings and offered him a choice, to give him another power source. After an experiment, Naruto became capable of wielding prana, more commonly known as magic. Prana is a rare power source that had been forgotten by most of the world. He would use both prana and chakra, but Naruto could only use chakra when Kurama allowed it because it was being used to refill Kurama's chakra. Other than that, he now used mainly magic. Then came the problem. Naruto didn't know any abilities or training methods with prana. The mysterious person offered to teach him two magic techniques, one of Naruto's choosing and another that he inherited from the experiment. Naruto learned to harness the power he inherited and chose to learn unlimited blade works. The mysterious person pointed out his similar red hair and steel eyes to a certain hero, the story of Emiya Shiro. Hearing his story, he fell in love with the hero and his ability. Naruto always loved swords and wanted to learn Kenjutsu, but sadly, Kushina refused to teach him. She wanted to teach Mito the art of the sword. Naruto kept his new secret ability from his friends, knowing the danger that any leak could become a problem. Cough cough, Danzo. Kurama was also impressed with how well Naruto learned magic. He was a natural mage. There's the demon, yelled the group of civilians and shinobi on their usual fox hunt. Run, thought Naruto. He still didn't want to hurt anyone unless he had to. Many miles outside of Konoha, Naruto ran as fast as he could to escape the proud hunters of the fox hunt. He managed to lose the civilians once he got out of the village, but the shinobi were still determined to get rid of this so-called demon. Get back here, you demon. Take your death like a man, the Chunin of Konoha yelled at him. Why is he so fast? I don't see him using chakra at all, yelled a confused Hyuga. It was true. Ever since our mysterious person decided to take pity on our red-headed hero, he wasn't using Kurama's chakra because he wanted Kurama to regain his power to feel complete. Naruto would only use chakra in desperate times. He still had prana, but he still believed that he shouldn't kill the shinobi. Well, not yet. The Jonin leading the hunt got tired of the chase and decided to end it. He realized that they were getting close to the border and they couldn't let news of a fox hunt escape Konoha. Unfortunately, or fortunately for Naruto, several traveling merchants saw these fox hunts and took pity on Naruto. They didn't know about him having Kurama's soul in him, but in their eyes, Konoha had fallen from grace. Throughout the elemental nations, people began to whisper about Konoha being child beaters. They had already lost many escort missions and reputation, but not enough high-paying jobs to make them really be concerned. Some people only cared if Konoha had the skills to complete the mission. Back to the chase, the Jonin threw a fireball jutsu at Naruto. Getting tired of being dropped off at the Shinigami's doorstep, Naruto decided it was time to fight back. I am the bone of my sword, whispered Naruto as he faced the fireball. Ro Aias. Naruto yelled as the seven-petal flower shield appeared and blocked the fireball. What the hell is that? Yelled an angry Jonin, not wanting to believe that the demon could do something great. However, Naruto was grazed by a kunai that was thrown by the Hyuga at his side. It only hit his head and knocked him out. Ro Aias disappeared as soon as Naruto fell to the ground. Even with all the training he had, experience on the battlefield didn't matter. Well, what do we have here? Konoha shinobi close to my border and trying to kill a child, a voice came out of the forest. Flashback. Yagura, the current Mizukage, along with his bodyguard Ao, were passing by after a meeting with a minor village for an alliance. Sadly, the alliance had failed. Mizukichi-sama, there are Konoha shinobi close by, said Ao, when he used his Byakugan to check ahead. What are shinobi from the Konoha doing close to the border of Mizu no Kuni, land of water, questioned Yagura, believing it to be a scouting party that the Hokage planned to act against Kirigakure. The Mizukage was cautious enough to not cause trouble for others, but this situation was something else. They are trying to kill a boy, a red-headed boy, with whiskers, said a very surprised Ao, not believing that Konoha would do something like this. They were said to be the kindest village of all, but here they were hunting him down like a dog. The boy seems like he is in trouble. I have never seen any Konoha shinobi do this before, continued Ao. Are you sure this is Konoha and not some other village pretending to be Konoha? Asked an equally confused Yagura. Positive. There is a Hyuga with them, but they seem too focused on the boy to notice us. Well, let's get a closer look, shall we, said Yagura. As both men, man and midget, came closer to see what was happening. Ro Aias. Naruto shouted. What was that? Whispered Ao while staring at Ro Aias with awe. I don't know, but what Konoha is doing is cruel. I won't allow this to go on anymore, he said. Also, I want to know about the 7-petal flower he summoned. It looks powerful, Yagura thought. Yagura may be a cage and paranoid, but he wasn't a cruel man. He still valued the life of another. The boy is special. I sense that he is capable of using prana, something far other and better than chakra. Also, I sense something else within the boy, said the Sanbai, or more commonly known to Yagura, Isabu, getting Yagura's attention and interest in the boy. Flashback end. Well, I'm waiting, said the now identified voice, Yagura. Who the hell are you, brat? Questioned Ichinen. This is a shinobi affair. Go back home and get yourself a glass of milk and a plate of cookies, said the Jonin with a smug look. An angry tick mark appeared on Yagura's forehead. Back in my days, shinobi would respect their cage, even if it isn't their own, said a sighing Ao. This would be the perfect time to have Danzo's root come out, but I have Danzo believing that Naruto is worthless and shouldn't be bothered with. What? He is the Mizukage, shouted the Jonin when he recognized Ao's headband. Well, I'm waiting, growled Yagura, still angry about the previous comment. After a pause to get over their surprise at the Mizukage being so short, we are here killing a demon, Mizukage-sama. You don't have to worry. We are saving our village and the world from his kind, said the Jonin, proudly. That means you are here to kill me too, then, said Yagura when he heard the demon comment, now realizing Naruto to be a Jinchuriki, or so he thought. Koro Palm, yelled out Yagura with the intention to kill the Konoha shinobi. He was still angry at the insult to his height and to people like himself. The group of Konoha shinobi was encased in coral, killing them with it. How is the boy? Questioned Yagura. Fine, sir. Seems to be chakra exhaustion and a slight hit to the head, said Ao, believing it to be chakra exhaustion, unaware that it was really prana exhaustion. Naruto used a lot of prana to get away, and his body was too young to handle a lot without pacing himself. Good. Destroy the shinobi's bodies and grab the Hyuga and the boy. We can always use another Byakugan, ordered Yagura. Ao went over to check on the Hyuga. We can't, sir. It's a branch family member, said Ao. Too bad. It won't really make a difference in the end. The boy seems to be special and worth more. Destroy the bodies so it can't be traced to us, said Yagura, while Ao started putting paper bombs on the bodies. Katsu, Ao said, detonating the paper bomb to leave no evidence that Naruto or the Mizukage had been in the area. A 3-day time skip in Kirigakure's hospital. Where am I? A groggy Naruto asked after waking up. Don't worry, Kit. We are safe. My younger sibling, Isabu's Jinchuriki, took us in. I've already spoken to them about our situation, Kurama said. Flashback. In the tailed beast's mindscape, so, brother, how has it been? Kurama asked awkwardly. He didn't want to admit to his younger sibling that he had found a host worthy of him. The proud Kitsune, who always said humans were weak and worthless, had now accepted a young boy, which would make him the laughingstock of the family. Cut to the chase, Kurama. Why do you have so little chakra, and what's up with your host? Isabu replied. After a long explanation, so the Gakid, brat, had it rough, huh? Isabu asked. Yup, the kid even amazed me to last that long before I introduced myself, Kurama replied. I will allow the boy to become part of Kiri, Yagura said gladly. Listening to Kurama's story, he felt the need to help his kin, even if he wasn't a full-tailed beast. No child should have to go through that. Thanks, brat. How many times do I have to say it? I'm an adult, Yagura yelled at Kurama. Isabu's sweat dropped. He really didn't like it when people talked about his height. He. You are a brat compared to me, Kurama answered back calmly, while Yagura reluctantly accepted it. Very reluctantly. Flashback end. So that's what happened, Naruto said. Yeah, Kurama started, but was interrupted as Yagura walked in. How are you doing, Naruto? Yagura asked. I'm fine. Thank you for taking me in, Mizuki-sama. Kurama already told me, Naruto replied. It's no problem. Seeing as you have this prana, it could become very powerful. I know I'm doing this for Kiri, but this can also benefit you. There is another Uzumaki living in Kiri that agreed to adopt you. You can have a family that loves you here, blood-related or not, Yagura stated. I will take the offer to stay, Mizuki-sama, Naruto replied after a minute of thought. Yagura. People like us should stick together, Yagura responded. Okay. Yagura, Naruto said with a big grin that many had not seen. Knock knock. Come in, Yagura said. A beautiful lady with auburn hair, green eyes, and an amazing figure came in. The doctors outside couldn't stop staring at her, only to be disappointed when she closed the door. Who are you, lady? Naruto asked innocently with a fox grin. She dove right for him and started hugging him between her large breasts. Aovu, you are so adorable. I'll take him, she shouted like a fangirl. Ahem. This, Naruto, is your new mother, Terumi Mei. Really? Are you going to be Mik Kachin? A frightened Naruto asked, not wanting this to be a cruel prank. Aovu. Of course. No mother would ever hate a boy like you, Mei screamed with glee. Now, Naruto, Mei will be taking care of you, but you will see me as well as other members of Kiri, Yagura said happily when he witnessed a moment akin to a mother finding her lost son. Thank you, cried Naruto while embracing Mei. I promise to make both of you proud. Watch out, world, Terumi Naruto is going to take the world by storm, Databia, Naruto screamed out into the room. He didn't realize he had said his verbal tic, which he had worked so hard to keep under control. Mei only hugged him harder until he passed out due to lack of oxygen, while Yagura watched a new family being born. Indeed, watch out, world. Naruto is going to change things here. Especially you, Konoha. Naruto may hold no real grudge based on what Kurama told me, but I will make sure you don't hurt him again, Yagura thought, still laughing at Naruto's situation, while some doctors looked through the door's window with a jealous glare at Naruto. Time skip, 9 years. On the unfinished bridge in the Land of Waves, a battle raged in a mist-covered setting. It was a battle between Konoha shinobi and missing ninjas from Kirigakure. Tajuna, the bridge builder, had hired the Konoha shinobi for protection. The team consisted of recently graduated genin from Team 7, Suzuki Uchiha, Sakura Harano, and Mito Namikaze, and I don't like using multiple last names. It annoys me a lot. The dad's last name goes to the kid, not the mother's last name, but they are still considered an Uzumaki, with their jonin instructor, Kakashi Hatake. When they ran into the Demon Brothers, they sent word back to Konoha, and Minato sent Kushina as backup. Sending an S-rank ninja would be perfect protection for Konoha's princess. However, they ran into more than they could take. Zabuza Mamakai came to kill Tajuna. An A-rank, bordering on S-rank ninja, had come for Tajuna. Kakashi beat him, but Haku Yuki came in to rescue him. After resting up, they battled on the bridge, but Zabuza decided to bring in the rest of his crew. Along came Mainjutsu Hojiki and his little brother, Suijutsu. Kushina was planning to take out Zabuza with Kakashi, but when she saw Mainjutsu, another S-rank shinobi, come in, she was forced to take him on. Kushina was losing the battle and was forced to use Kurama's Yin Chakra. Her Kenjutsu was no match against the man who had mastered all of Kiri's legendary 7 swords. While the adults fought, Haku and Suijutsu fought against the rest of Team 7. They were no match. Haku was faster than them, and Suijutsu was stronger. Unfortunately for our Kiri heroes, Mito used Kurama's chakra and turned the tides. It was a deadly battle, but it ended in a draw. Mainjutsu defeated Kushina in her half-controlled state, and Zabuza defeated Kakashi when he looked at his genin. They were about to end it all, but, good job, Demon of the Mist. You got them, but we have another problem, said a short man. Gato, what are you doing here? I'm doing the job, Zabuza growled. He didn't like him much. I'm here to save money. An army of mercenaries is cheaper than you shinobi. You ninjas are all tired out and are easy picking, Gato yelled with a smug look. Damn it, he's right. We can't kill all of those thugs, thought Kushina, Kakashi, Zabuza, and Mainjutsu. Damn you, Gato, Tajuna yelled. Well then, kill Gato yelled, but was interrupted by a mist appearing out of nowhere. What the hell, he shouted as the mist already blinded him. I wouldn't do that if I were you, an unknown voice shouted from the mist. What the hell is going on? Gato shouted as he began to panic. Then the mist lifted to show a group of Kiri Hunter ninjas standing all around him. Damn it! They caught up. Zabuza and Mainjutsu thought with panic in their voice, or in this case, thought. Gato, these shinobi are for us to deal with, not you, the leader of the Hunter ninja said. Of course, he said as he told his men to stand down and back away. Teiku, you can come out now, said the leading hunter. As a boy came out, Shitotsun, thought the 2 swordsmen. They knew who from Kiri would wear that outfit. He is the captain, all the Konoha shinobi thought. The genin woke up, all wondering the same thing. Then another person came out right behind the boy, a blonde girl with a nice figure, but not as Mei's, and long blonde hair wearing her standard Kumo, Cloud, uniform. And Yujito is 14 years old now, same age as Naruto and the other genin, plus Suijutsu and Haku. The boy was a redhead wearing some odd outfit and a mask for protection, Archer's outfit from Fate/Stay Night. He is the captain, but he is so young. About the same age as the genin, thought Kushina and Kakashi. He's here, thought a frightened Zabuza and Mainjutsu. While Suijutsu was indifferent about his appearance, Haku looked at him with a little bit of lust. Good job, Ryu, the now known leading hunter nin, Ryu, said. It's good to see Suijutsu, Haku-chan, Zabuza-senpai, and Mainjutsu-senpai, the redhead said. What are you doing here, Gaki? Zabuza shouted, believing that he was here to kill them. Did Yagura send you to finish us, said a calm Mainjutsu, but he was panicking on the inside. No, Yagura Naizen forgave you guys, shocking the two. By order of Terumi Mei, the 5th Mizukage, Zabuza, Haku, and the Hojiki brothers are pardoned for their crimes against the 4th Mizukage. You guys are to resume your duty for Kiri, the redhead said with authority. What? Said the missing nin and Konoha ninjas. But why? Zabuza screamed. Yagura is one of your precious people. I know you. You would kill us on the spot after our attempted assassination. You are right. I would kill you right here, right now, making the air very tense. However, he was sick and needed to be stopped, the redhead said calmly. What? How does getting sick make you start a bloodline purge? Even your own mother was his target, but not you. What kind of disease makes a guy like that? A confused Suijutsu shouted. Kakashi and Kushina were thinking the same thing. The whole world was aware of Yagura's purge on bloodline users. Sorry, but I can't tell you guys in front of enemies, the redhead said as he pointed to those wearing Konoha headbands. If you come back peacefully, I can tell you when we get back, the redhead said cheekily. I'm in, Haku said, diving in to embrace her ex-boyfriend. I really don't like how you are in the Clan Restoration Act, the blonde Kumo girl said with an angry tick mark on her head. Just deal with it. Plus, I dated him first, a slightly annoyed Haku said. Who are you, by the way? Haku knew that the boy was under the CRA because it was ordered before the purge, so she had already accepted the fact that she had to share him. I'm Yujito Nii. I'm his fiancé copyrighty, the now confirmed Kunoichi, Yujito, said, making Haku narrow her eyes at Yujito. Wow. The bastard is already creating a harem, Suijutsu said with a mocking tone. Girls are just a pain. I'll find one later, Suijutsu thought when he saw how troublesome they were. A lazy pineapple head watching clouds suddenly sneezed. Troublesome. Hey, I didn't do it on purpose, the redhead yelled, trying to defend himself. Wow, I'm surprised your mother hasn't killed you yet, a mocking Zabuza said. I'm so proud of my Koi. He created a harem without trying, a proud Mainjutsu said while wiping a fake tear. Well, now that that's done with, it's time to do my other job, the redhead said. You still want to be a hero, Gaki? Zabuza asked. Of course, the redhead nodded. The redhead stepped toward Gato, who was watching the whole scene with his army. Gato, I order you to leave and stop harming innocent people of Nami no Kuni, Land of Waves, the hero said. Really, even if you're from Kiri, I can kill you all and get away with it, a smug Gato said while his army shouted ya. So be it then, the hero said while reaching into his shadow and his hand passed into the land of shadow, ruled by Scathatch. Pulling out a red spear, he unleashed an unimaginable amount of bloodlust onto the bridge. Leave now or die, the hero ordered, pointing the red spear at him. Balg. It's game over if he is pulling that out, all Kiri shinobi thought, while everyone else was frightened by how much bloodlust the spear produced. Impossible. The Kumobai couldn't produce this much 14 years ago, thought Kushina and Kakashi with fear. How does that wannabe hero have such a weapon? A weapon like that only belongs to an elite like me, thought an angry/jealous Uchiha. No way, Mito looked with awe. Meet your doom, Gibalg, the demonic cursed spear. Given to me by Skadik-chan, the proud hero said. Who? Konoha ninjas thought, believing that they knew everyone and everything in the world. Oh, so it's Skadik-chan now and not Skadik-sensei, Zabuza said in a teasing voice. Another harem member. And a teacher at that. Like I said, I'm so proud of you. Don't worry, I will be at your funeral next month, a joking Mainjutsu said while the brothers laughed at his soon-to-be unfortunate talent for attracting girls. Shut up, yelled the embarrassed hero. The girls looked at our hero dangerously. Enough of this. What are you Kiri shinobi going to do? An annoyed Gato yelled. This is the Teiaku's doing, not Kiri's, Ryu said. The hero got into a stance that looked like a dog about to attack. And this scene is similar to how Archer blocked Gibalg from Lancer in the show. Last chance, the hero said. There is no way a brat like you can kill an army, a laughing Gato said, but was interrupted when the hero dashed to Gato. The hero dashed so fast that it was almost like instant teleportation. Of course, the shinobi could tell that it was pure speed. So fast. Faster than Minato-kun/Sensei's High Reishin. And no markers. He is dangerous, thought Kushina and Kakashi with terror in their minds. They thought Minato was the best/fastest shinobi alive, but now he wasn't after seeing the young hero. The hero then suddenly jumped backward, doing backflips in the air and froze when charging Gibalg. Gathering a lot of prana and bloodlust, Gato wet himself. Kill them all. Just kill them all, a scared Gato yelled, now running away. The army started to charge, but the hunter ninja were relaxed, enjoying a rare moment that their Teika rarely used. Naruto wanted to show off to the girls mainly and show Konoha that he and Kiri were powerful. That spear never misses. It breaks the sound barrier. Hell, I can bet that it is faster than Konoha's Hokage's Hiraishin, Zabuza said to the Konoha shinobi. No way, thought Sakura and Mito. Not good. If Minato-kun is really slower, Konoha is in trouble, Kushina thought. The boy looks familiar. Could it be him? Kakashi thought hopefully. Damn you, loser. I deserve that power, thought the always angry Suzuki. DBOLG, the hero yelled while throwing it, aiming at Gato's heart. As soon as everyone blinked after the flash of red light from Gibalg, they looked at Gato. The spear had already killed him and the army between him and Gato. Blood and limbs scattered on the bridge. Everyone was in disbelief. No matter how many times I see it. It is always impressive, Teiku said, an impressed Ryu with all Kiri shinobi and Yujito nodding in agreement. It's just as fast, if not faster than the Hiraishin. Also, very powerful, a fearful Kushina thought. She was still madly in love with Minato, so she didn't want anything bad to happen to him. Damn you. I need that power to kill him, thought an even more jealous Suzuki. Please let this kid be Naruto, Kakashi thought. He missed seeing the little guy. Gibalg sank into the shadows, returning to Skadaka's home. Ryu, you guys clean up the mess, the hero said. Yes, sir. Ryu and the other hunters saluted. Tajuna rushed over and hugged him, tears of joy streaming down his face. Thank you. Thank you. If there's anything I can do for you, you just name it, a tearful but happy Tajuna said. Nothing. As Ryu said, this was my personal mission. I chose to save this country. I've always wanted to be a hero, so there's no need for repayment. I'm just glad to help, the hero replied. Even so, I should at least know the name of Wave's new hero, a cheerful Tajuna said. He removed his mask, shocking Mito, Kushina, and Kakashi. The name's Terumi Naruto, the now identified hero stated. Naruto! Kakashi, Mito, and Kushina screamed in astonishment. Well, hello there, Kakashi, Mito-san, Kushina-san. How are you all doing? Naruto asked as if nothing had ever happened. It was as if the last 9 years hadn't passed and they had simply dropped by to say hi. The hunter ninja's sweat dropped at their captain's antics. He could be casual in any given situation. What do you mean, how are you doing? Why are you with Kiri? Why did you leave and not ask us for help? We're family. Why? Kushina's furious rant toward Naruto was cut short. We are not family, Kushina-san. We never were in the first place. At best, we were strangers sharing a living space, Naruto said in a neutral tone. As Kushina began to tear up from her former son's words, Kakashi wanted to intervene, but he knew Naruto was right and she needed to hear it. Unai-chan, please come back. I promise we'll be a family. Please, just come back home, begged Mito. Mito-san, we aren't family. And also, your home was my birthplace. A home is a place where you feel safe. A home is where you know you are loved by the people there. A home is where you can sleep without nightmares. Kiri is my home. Konoha is my birthplace. Being born in Konoha doesn't make it my home, Naruto said in a passive tone, but it grew more passionate when he mentioned home. Once again, Kakashi wanted to step in, but Naruto was correct, once more. After a minute of silence to let it sink in and for the Namikaze women to cry, "Hey, Naruto, have you been eating well?" Kakashi asked, mirroring Naruto's earlier greeting. This caused several people to sweat drop at the scene. It was the same greeting as Naruto's. Naruto ran up to him and hugged him. Kushina and Mito felt heartbroken seeing Naruto do that to Kakashi instead of them. I miss you, Kakashi and I. Naruto yelled, embracing the few people from Konoha who had been kind to him. Also, Kaa-chan has been limiting my ramen intake, Naruto said with a pout. Kakashi and the Kiri shinobi, including Yujito, just laughed at him. They were well aware of his frightening obsession with ramen. Death would be more merciful than taking away his ramen, at least in Naruto's opinion. Sorry Kakashi and I, but I can't stay any longer than I wanted. Kaa-chan will be furious when she finds out Konoha knows about me. No offense, Naruto said. None taken, said an understanding Kakashi. I might see you at the Chunin exam, though. Also, tell everyone I said hi, Naruto added. I will. I hope you do show up to the Chunin exam, Kakashi said with a nice smile. Hey kid, thank you for saving our country. I want to set up a trading contract with your village, Tajuna said. Are you sure? As Ryu said, this is my own business. I had no intention of getting a contract for this country. I just wanted to help, Naruto replied. Of course I know that, but if there are people like you in Kiri, it means I can trust your country to help us when needed. Plus, I still want to repay you, Tajuna said in a tone that brooked no refusal. Well, if Kaachin finds out I refused something that helps our home, she might take more ramen. No, not my ramen. Fine, let's do it, Naruto thought aloud. The people around them just laughed. A week later, on the finished bridge, Mito and Kushina had been trying to convince Naruto to return. Kushina even attempted to use her chakra chains to kidnap him, but failed. Naruto countered her with Inkiju, the chains of heaven. She was even more disheartened when she saw that. She had thought Naruto inherited her chains, like her hair, but failed to realize his chains were completely different. Kakashi saw his chains and noticed a different design than Kushina's. He would have to ask about it later. Sasuke confronted Naruto about the spear and demanded he hand it over. Naruto considered bringing in Scathatch to teach him a lesson about taking what wasn't his. She would most likely kill Sasuke. Kakashi stepped in and sent Sasuke away before things could escalate. For the rest of the week, Kakashi spoke to Naruto's friends about his life. Naruto was busy helping feed the town and build the bridge. He had learned how to cook a while back and thought the people of Wave could use a good meal. They were very pleased with his cooking. Kakashi was happy to hear that his surrogate little brother was finally living a happy life, even if it was in the so-called bloody mist. He also learned that Naruto was a natural ladies' man from Mainjutsu. He was currently engaged to Yujito to form a political alliance between Kiri and Kumo. This started when Naruto was on a mission and saved Yujito. He brought her to Kumo and they hit it off. The Raikage was grateful and began to interact with Kiri. Seeing a potentially powerful ally, he used their relationship to initiate an alliance. This was after the purge. Nobody complained, except Mei. She didn't want to lose her baby boy. Mito and Kushina just listened to their stories and cried their eyes out about missing so much of Naruto's life. Sakura just yelled at Naruto every chance she got about Sasuke supposedly being better. Here is the contract. It states we will give you 25% in merchandise, and missions will be sent your way while you provide protection and support, as well as other things, Tajuna said, handing Naruto the contract. Thank you, Tajuna. I hope Wave will prosper in the near future, Naruto said. Me too, brat, Tajuna replied. Later, you old drunk, a laughing Naruto said. Alright, everyone, how should we go back? Flying or through the land of shadows? Naruto asked. He had already told Kakashi about Scathatch and how her world was connected to all shadows. The other Konoha shinobi only heard something about the land of shadows. They wondered where it was as they had never heard of it. Kakashi wasn't sure if he should tell the Hokage and the council about Scathatch and her own world. The power to enter and exit any shadow posed a threat to everyone, but Naruto assured him that Skathaka's trust was very limited and she didn't allow random people to enter and exit as they pleased. Naruto was one of the few who could use it for that purpose and bring people, not an army, along with him. That still didn't help, because many on the council would want that power and would do anything to take Naruto for his power, and if Kakashi wasn't careful with what he revealed about what he had learned from Naruto, war could occur. Flying, the Kiri shinobi said in unison. Sir, permission to speak freely? Ryu asked. Granted, Naruto replied. That is an idiotic question. Skathak-sama would most likely kill all of us for bringing in Yujito-san and Haku-san. They both have affection for you, and Scathatch might get territorial if she sees them, Ryu said with fear. He and his squad were the ones assigned to protect Naruto and go on joint missions with him. They had met Scathatch and already feared her. Fair point, Naruto said, biting his thumb and pulling up his left sleeve to wipe blood on the ceiling tattoo. And this ceiling tattoo on his left arm has the same design from Fairy Tail's Natsu's Dragon King tattoo. Just not as big/long as Natsu's. Kurama, back me up, Naruto thought. I got ya, Kit, Kurama replied, giving Naruto access to his chakra. Kurama had managed to build up 7 taels worth of chakra since Naruto gave him his chakra network. Summoning Jutsu. Naruto yelled, placing his palm on the side of the bridge. A large white dragon was revealed. What do you need, Naruto? The white western dragon said. I need you to take us back to Kiri, Albion. And yup, Albion, the vanishing dragon from High School DxD. The dragon summonings are mainly from High School DxD. However, there is no Great Red. Only Afai's, and she is second in command, not the boss summoning. Bahamut, any dragon picture could do. I used the first black dragon picture after searching for Final Fantasy Bahamut. So you summoned me instead of Drake? Albion asked. He was one of the 2 heavenly dragons, but Naruto was a redhead and wore red a lot, so Albion thought Drake would be his favorite. I summoned you because you are the vanishing dragon, as powerful as Drake, but faster than him, Naruto replied. Ha 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 ha, take that, Drake. Our summoners acknowledge I'm faster than you. Okay, I'll take you home, Albion said with a triumphant smile. Everyone in Naruto's group got on Albion and they headed for home. The others could only look in awe, sadness, and jealousy at seeing Naruto with the legendary Lost Dragon summoning contract. They headed back home to inform them of what had happened. It only took half a day to reach Kiri. It took Konoha a few days to get back home. Back in Kirigakure, in the Mizukage Tower, Mei Terumi, the new 5th Mizukage, was sipping tea and looking out of her window. Yagura, the previous Mizukage, sweat dropped at the scene in the room. In the room, there were 4 shadow clones of Mei doing the paperwork. Naruto had taught her this jutsu after he no longer needed it. However, it was a bribe after she became Mizukage. She was swamped with paperwork and looked like she was going to kill Yagura for stepping down. Naruto taught her the shadow clone jutsu if she allowed him more ramen. In a desperate plea to end the nightmare of paperwork, she agreed to her son's demands and never regretted that choice. In the end, it wasn't enough to satisfy Naruto's hunger for ramen, but it was better than before. Naruto, Haku, Mainjutsu, Suijutsu, and Zabuza entered the office. Naruto had already sent Albion to take Yujito home to prepare for the Chunin exam. This year, the exam was hosted by Konoha, but all 5 great villages were participating. Kaa-chan, I'm back, a happy Naruto said. Welcome back, son. As well as everyone, a smiling Mei said. So, Yagura, what happened to you? Zabuza questioned Yagura, looking at him. Yagura told them about an Uchiha being involved. He claimed to be Madara, but once Kurama got into his mind, Kurama disagreed. He would recognize Madara's chakra from anywhere. The genjutsu the Uchiha placed didn't have the same evil feeling Madara's chakra did, but it was powerful. Not as powerful as Madara, but more powerful than other Uchihas. They were surprised that the Sharingan had the ability to control Baijuyu. The Sharingan manipulated someone's chakra to cast a powerful genjutsu. Baijuyu being nothing but chakra, controlling them was powerful, but they had strong resistance to many Sharingan. This made everyone worried about the Uchiha out there. Well, on to other things. Naruto, you are retired from Shark duty. Shark is Kiri's Umbu. Naruto is Shark captain but works with other divisions in Kiri, and will resume your Jonin duty. Your Genin squad will be Haku Mamakai, Suijutsu Hojiki, and Yuki Nanaka. Your team will represent us in the Chunin exams, Mei said with a smile. That's right, your other fiancé that you fell in love with when you met up with the Heroes tribe, Mei said darkly. She didn't like the idea that her son was the center of all the alliances Kiri created. The supernatural world was now known to Kiri and Kumo due to the alliances Naruto had built. They were worried about demons, angels, and devils being a threat, so they formed an alliance with each other in case they needed to fight them. Naruto was introduced to the hero tribe by a mysterious person. This happened when Naruto started his training with Scathatch at the age of 7. Naruto became great friends with Yuki and her little sister. It went as far as the 2 sisters developing a crush on him, but Naruto was too dense to realize it at the time. Basara doesn't exist. The elders of the hero tribe knew that if the mysterious person chose him, he would be important in the future, so they set up an alliance with Kiri, and then with Kumo after Kiri formed an alliance with them. They sent Yuki to represent the hero tribe for them as well as to marry Naruto. No one complained, except Mei, again. No problem, a smiling Naruto said. As well as a team from Fairy Tail will be joining you, Mei said. During Naruto's time with the hero tribe, he met Mavis Vermilion Ghost, and she told him about the few people who could also use magic. Naruto searched for them and found them. He invited them to Kiri, and they accepted. They worked more like a guild. They accepted any jobs that were posted, including ones assigned by the Mizukage. They became part of Kiri, but they were their own division/group and had their own funding. However, instead of a group part of the ninja village, they only goofed around and did jobs like children. And this fairy tale is the same as the one from the show. The only difference is they're okay with killing, only if it is meant to defend themselves, home, and their family. Also, Zabuza and Mainjutsu will be attending with your team, mainly for protection against Konoha, Mei added. What? Why do we have to go too? Mainjutsu and Zabuza yelled. We need to show that Kiri is strong. Sending only Naruto to deal with Konoha wouldn't be wise. He would need some backup in case the Hokage does something, Mei stated. Is that clear, you two? She asked politely while a Hanya face appeared behind her, frightening everyone in the room. Yes, everyone, even Yagura, replied in fear of the Hanya face. Mei was very happy to learn the Hanya face technique. A technique that isn't genjutsu. It was taught to her by Miya Asama, a friend of the Terumi clan and Naruto's usual babysitter when he was in Kiri and Mei had her duties. He became an unofficial member of their clan. Maybe an official member in the future if he marries into the family. And Miya from Sekaiare. Not sure if I'm gonna add any Sekaiare to the harem. Not sure yet. They are all humans. The Sekaiare will be a clan, but don't use that as their last name. Sekaiare is the name of their bloodline. Each ability matches the person. In Konoha the council chamber, 3 days later. Once they got back to Konoha, Kakashi dismissed the team, but Sasuke wanted to complain to the Hokage about Naruto not giving him power, just like the civilians in Danzo had done. Minato retired the elders and named Jiraiya and Hiruzen as the new elders. By doing this, he took away more of Danzo's influence, as they were the main supporters of the fox hunts. This event happened on Mito's birthday. It was considered Mito's birthday because they never celebrated Naruto's birthday, and it was 1 week after Naruto was chased out of town. Hiruzen came in to bring Naruto's present, but couldn't find him, so he confronted Minato and Kushina. They thought the present was for Mito. Once they learned it was for Naruto, it clicked. They were celebrating Mito's birthday and not Naruto's. They couldn't remember when they last celebrated his birthday. Worse, the banner said, "Happy Birthday Mito." They were horrified when they realized how badly they had neglected their 5-year-old son. The party was immediately cancelled, and a search was on its way. The search failed because no one actually looked for Naruto. They just went out of the village and got drunk for hearing that the demon brat was missing. Only Kakashi and Itachi were the ones looking for him. Kushina broke down crying and ran toward his room, now realizing that she didn't know which one was his. She frantically searched every room before finally finding it. The room was sparse, containing only a desk and a bed, with no other items hinting at a child's presence. Instead, what she discovered were drugs and blood-stained bandages. Kushina, being no medical expert, immediately brought in Tsunade. The sheer sight of so many drugs and bloodied bandages was horrifying to Tsunade. She refused to believe this was his room. Yet, after inspecting the drugs, she identified them as painkillers, the very same ones that had been mysteriously disappearing for a year. The blood on the bandages was also confirmed to be Naruto's. Minato was enraged upon learning that his son had been so badly injured at such a young age that he required painkillers. Kushina's heart broke, and so did Mito's. She knew Naruto had been targeted, but she never imagined villagers and ninjas would inflict such severe harm on the son of a Hokage. The scene brought back painful memories for Tsunade, the time when Dan and Nueka died, a time of suffering and death where she was powerless to save them. The following week, Minato uncovered the full truth of what had been happening to Naruto. Kushina's rage demanded the death of everyone in the village, while Minato sought to punish them. However, this would mean punishing 90% of the village's population. With his hands tied, he was forced to accept the council's decision to pardon them for the attempted assassination of Akage's son. The news spread that Minato had permitted this to happen, causing him to lose many clients. This sent Konoha's economy into a nosedive, and the village became officially known as the Village of Criminals, no longer recognized as the most noble village. The belief that shinobi and civilians could commit crimes and escape punishment became widespread. Crimes grew more frequent, and few were arrested. Then came the Uchiha massacre. In a single night, Shisui Uchiha wiped out his clan. The only survivors were Itachi, Nikato, and Sasuke. The Uchiha clan had been plotting a coup d'état. Minato had ordered Shisui to eliminate those involved in the rebellion. He spared only Itachi and his immediate family, with the exception of Fugaku. This tragedy set Sasuke on a path of vengeance. It was later announced that Sasuke was the last Uchiha, as Itachi had mysteriously become sterile. Konoha's problems only intensified. Some shinobi on duty even killed their clients for disrespecting the almighty Konoha. Naturally, this news reached the rest of the world, and clients began to avoid Konoha altogether. The shinobi responsible for these crimes were also pardoned, further tarnishing Konoha's reputation. The reason for their pardon was Danzo, who had taken them in and saved them from execution. Even the fire daimyo lost standing among the other daimyo. The situation became so dire that Konoha was officially ranked as the third strongest village. Kumo held the first spot, Iwa was second, Kiri was fourth, and Suna was fifth. Although Kiri's fourth-place ranking was debated, their power was diminished at the time due to a civil war. Iwa, of course, was delighted by Konoha's misfortune. They even agreed that if Naruto were to be seen, he should be considered innocent, another victim, like the Iwa shinobi during the Third Great Shinobi War, and should be spared. Many Iwa shinobi sympathized after learning how poorly Naruto had been treated by his own father. The council was convened just as Kakashi and Kushina were about to provide their mission debriefing. Apparently, Sasuke had spoken to the civilian council about Naruto, and they had called the meeting with the intent of finally getting rid of the demon brat. Who called this meeting? Minato demanded, furious that he hadn't been given the chance to hear about his daughter's first mission outside the village. "We did, Hokage-sama. This concerns the I mean, your son, Naruto Namikaze," a civilian council member stated, a hint of venom in his voice when he spoke Naruto's name. Minato was shocked that his son's name was brought up. He had been declared dead by the civilian council after the search, since Naruto was a civilian at the time, giving them the authority to end the search and declare him deceased. They feared being exposed. Minato's hands were tied once again. Kushina was unhappy, but as a Konoha shinobi, she had to accept the decision. He was spotted in the Land of Waves. Team 7 saw him, the civilian said. So that's what they were trying to tell me before this council meeting, Minato thought to himself. Bring Kakashi Hatake in and have him brief us on what happened, the civilian ordered. Minato narrowed his eyes at a civilian presuming to command his ninja. Kakashi recounted the events but chose to withhold the information he had learned from Naruto unless absolutely necessary. He's still alive. We must bring him back. Konoha is his home, not Kiri. War, many civilians shouted, convinced they held the village's leadership. I'm so happy you're doing well now, Naruto. You deserve it, Hiruzen and Mikoto thought to themselves. They were the ones who had cared for him, and they felt a sense of pride that Naruto had grown so powerful. I hope we meet soon. We all miss you. Hiruzen's imagination ran wild, and some blood leaked from his nose at the thought of Naruto being engaged to a Kumo kunoichi and having other girls falling for him. I must have him in my clan/root, Hayashi Hayaga and Danzo thought. They both realized they had made a mistake in targeting him. They were not working together, they were only driven by their own desire for power. Hayashi, though he loved his daughter, was similar to Minato in that his clan's interests came first. Enough! Kakashi and, surprisingly, Shikaka Nara yelled in unison. Naruto is a Kiri shinobi now. There's nothing we can do about that. He left because of our cruelty. From what I hear, he is stronger than anyone his age, an annoyed Nara said. An Umbu squad will be more than enough, Danzo countered. Not really, Shikaka said lazily. Explain, a civilian ordered. Shikaka sighed. He called Zabuza and Mainjutsu, two of the strongest of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, senpai, and they replied to him as Koai. That means he is part of their group. Targeting Naruto means targeting the entire group. They killed many of our shinobi during the war. They even managed to steal the Byakugan, which many have failed to do. He is also being taught by Yagura and is the son of Mei Terumi, the new Mizukage. This isn't Konoha, where you can attack a cage's child and escape without consequence, he said sarcastically. Plus, it sounds like he's a shark captain, Shikaku finished. Then we go to war, Danzo declared, with many of the civilians and some shinobi nodding in agreement. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Kakashi said, drawing everyone's attention. Troublesome, he muttered. Hey, that's my line, Kakashi, Shikaku said, causing some people to laugh. I spoke with Naruto and his friends. I was going to tell the Hokage what I learned, as it should be classified as an S-rank secret, but you guys have left me no choice. Remember the land of shadow I mentioned? They all nodded. Naruto took me there once during the week. It is a completely different world that exists in the shadows of ours. All shadows are an entry or exit point. I even met the ruler of that world, Scathatch. After meeting her, I learned she is an immortal and not someone we want as an enemy. She is incredibly powerful. Since shadows are everywhere, she can use them as an entry point if she sees us as her enemy. But from what she told me, she only uses it to visit Naruto. The other issue is that Naruto has formed alliances with Kumo and some unknown groups he didn't tell me about. Challenging Kiri to a war is not an option for us. IWA has already expressed sympathy for Naruto and will have no problem joining Kumo and Kiri against us. Additionally, Scathatch could lead their army directly into Konoha and escape just as easily if she believes it's to protect Naruto. Plus, these unknown groups will cause even more trouble for us, Kakashi explained. Wait a moment. I've heard this somewhere before, Shikaka thought, then realized and pulled out his bingo book. Kakashi, is this description of Naruto accurate? Shikaku asked, turning to the correct page. Kakashi nodded, already knowing who Naruto truly was. Read this out loud to everyone, Shikaku ordered the Umbu commander, tossing him the book. Bingo book name Naruto Terumi, age 14, origin Kirigakur, appearance 5 feet 4 inches. He wears black body armor made from a special material, consisting of a black, tight, sleeveless shirt with silver accents outlining his muscles and a metal plate on his collar. He has black pants with 2 straps on his thighs and another 2 strapped around his shins. He wears black metal-plated shoes that appear to be attached to his trousers. He also wears a red coat. Archer's outfit from Fate/Stay Night, rank S, do not anger. If anger, flee. Jonin, Shark Captain alias, the 8th Swordsman, the 7 Swordsmen of Kiri are now officially the 8th Swordsmen of Kiri. The 8th title is given to the most powerful one, Hero, Infinite Swordsman, Archer. Ninjutsu summoning, shadow clones, replacement, transformation, not a genjutsu, a real transformation with no genjutsu involved, an unknown jutsu to create blades, chakra chains, or so they believe. Only those close to Naruto know the truth. Naruto told Kakashi and the people he cared about in Konoha about his powers. The Raikage and some other Kumo ninja know as well. Genjutsu, some strange genjutsu that creates a world. Taijutsu, able to match the Raikage in speed, but the Raikage is stronger in strength. Kenjutsu, cage level. Speed, confirmed to be faster than the Raikage, believed to be faster than Minato Namikaze. Summoning contract, the Lost, Legendary Dragon Clan and the fabled White Tiger Clan. Summoning seals, the dragon on his left and the tiger on his right. Weapon, all the swords of the swordsman like Manjutsu, his own sword, a red spear that emits more bloodlust than a tailed beast, and a bow he creates. Background, taken in by Yagura and trained by him and Mei. Mei Terumi adopted him. His past before the age of 5 is unknown. He spent 2 years in Kiri, then disappeared. Missing for 3 years. He returned during the bloodline purge and ended it. Spent 3 years rebuilding Kiri and forming an alliance with Kumo. Announced that his dream is to be a hero. He will not cause trouble as long as you don't harm the innocent. If you face a problem, chances are he will help you with nothing in return. Family, Mei Terumi, mother, fiancé to Yujido Nii of Kumo and unknown others. Under the CRA, he is to take on multiple wives, believed to be engaged to one or more members of the feared Sekaiare clan, also believed to be engaged to a member of the famous fairy tale guild that resides in Kiri to ensure loyalty. This is unconfirmed. Believed to be the one who created the alliances Kiri has acquired. Warning, Mei Terumi is overprotective of Naruto. She has killed people who have tried to get close to Naruto. There's nothing we can do to get Naruto back without starting a war. This is all our fault no matter how you look at it. If Minato had never announced that Naruto held the soul of the 9 tails, we wouldn't have this problem. Troublesome, Shikaku thought. So, do you still want to go to war? Kakashi challenged after the Umbu commander finished reading. As you can see, there is no way we can win. They will send Naruto to fight us. We would be losing a war that is guaranteed to lead to our destruction, Shikaka stated. How about an alliance? I offer one of my daughters for a political marriage, Hayashi said, hoping to save Hinata from the caged bird seal and strengthen his clan. Unlikely. Mei must already know about us. Any attempt at a marriage contract could lead to death. She is the Mizukage and has many allies. She will undoubtedly protect Naruto from these kinds of politics. I wish she were my mother, so I wouldn't have to deal with these meetings, Shikaku said, causing some of his friends to laugh. The best we can do is talk to Naruto and the Mizukage during the Chunin exam. We have to be on our best behavior. This is the first time that all great shinobi villages will participate. Any screw up, and we will make Konoha even worse. Dismissed, Minato said, finally able to speak after hearing everything. He and Kushina were on the verge of tears when they heard that he had abandoned both the Namikaze and Uzumaki names. The Uzumaki clan was all about family, so hearing that an Uzumaki no longer considered themselves part of the family was heartbreaking for Kushina. Everyone left the room, leaving only the Namikaze family. What do we do, Minato-kun? I want our son back, Kushina sobbed, while Minato held her. I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do. We can only. Minato began, before being interrupted. That is what you said last time. You said we would see him again, but now, he sees some other woman as his mother. I can't take it anymore. I just want my baby boy. That woman was there for him when I left him. She must have helped him through his first kill. She saw him happy. That should be me. I just can't take it anymore. Kushina cried, then ran back to Naruto's old room to weep. 2 months later, Kirigakured Naruto, Yuki Nanaka, Suijutsu Hojiki, Hakuyuki, Urza Scarlet, Natsu Dragneel, Grateful Buster, Lucy Heartfilia, Zabuza Mamakai, and Manjutsu Hojiki stood at Kiri's gate with their teams. Good luck, everyone. Make Fairy Tail proud. Show them the power of Kiri, Naruto-sama. Many civilians, shinobi, and members of Fairy Tail shouted to the participants of the Chunin exam. Is it always like this? Zabuza asked. I could get used to all the love and praise, said a smiling Manjutsu. Annoying. I miss the time when they used to stay away from us and annoyed, Zabuza said. Come on. This is the new Kiri. We take care of our own, Zabuza-senpai, a waving Naruto said. Whatever, Zabuza said. Although he would never admit it, it felt good to be viewed in a positive light by his people. Summoning Jutsu, he exclaimed. Albion appeared again. Need another ride? Albion asked. Yeah. This time, the world gets to welcome back the Dragon Clan in fear or awe, a grinning Naruto said. Yes. It's time to show the world that dragons reign supreme. Not even the supposedly formidable toads could mount a challenge. Heck, they wouldn't even be able to handle Byaku's clan, Albion said, filled with a sense of excitement. He knew that Naruto typically concealed his true power, but he was certain that at the Chunin exam, Naruto would demonstrate that the fabled dragons were far from extinct. In the sky above the land of fire, we're almost there, Naruto, Albion announced. Just show off as much as you want. But no destroying anything. Just land right in front of the main gate, Naruto instructed. He. I wonder how many people will come and greet the vanishing dragon, he said, preparing himself. Hold on tight, everyone. I'll be taking the express elevator down, Naruto said, readying himself to skydive instead of riding Albion into Konoha. Later. Naruto saluted them with 2 fingers and leapt off Albion. Naruto thoroughly enjoyed skydiving. Show off, Mainjutsu muttered. Albion let out a powerful roar, startling many animals and the people of Konoha, as well as other shinobi participating this year. As soon as he roared, Naruto leapt off. Both performed impressive aerial maneuvers, but people only saw Albion's showmanship and began making their way to the main gate as they watched the legendary creature descend. They landed in front of the gate to a large crowd. Fear me, mortals! The Dragon Clan has returned! Albion roared, attempting to intimidate them. Thanks for the ride, Albion, Naruto said as everyone disembarked. Albion then vanished back to the land of dragons. Many people were terrified by the dragon and saw that the Kiri group now had it under their allegiance, causing fear among the Konoha shinobi. Kotetsu and Izumo, the ever-present gate guards, were the first to recover after Albion's departure. Welcome back, Naruto. It's great to see you, they both greeted him. They were among the few who genuinely liked the boy and had no issues with him. Hey Kotetsu and Izumo. It's been a while. Well, I'm here as a Kiri Jonin sensei, and I'm bringing in the heavy hitters for the exam, Naruto said with a mischievous grin. This came as a shock to them, as they were still Chunin themselves. They knew he was a prodigy, but they hadn't expected him to become a Jonin at only 14. They checked their IDs and allowed them to pass. They also informed Naruto that the Hokage wanted to see him privately. However, Naruto argued that since he wasn't part of Konoha, he shouldn't have to face him unless the Mizukage or Raikage ordered him to. With that, they entered the village. Many people still glared at Naruto, but now they understood that causing him any trouble could lead to their demise. Mainjutsu and Zabuza headed to the hotel, realizing that Naruto was not in any immediate danger during the day. The rest stayed with Naruto and headed to a place he truly missed, Ichiraku's Ramen. Welcome. What can I get yo? Ayam began as she turned to face them, but upon seeing Naruto, she immediately rushed to hug him. Naruto, I missed you. Ayam cried as she was reunited with her surrogate little brother. I missed you too, Ayamne, he said, hugging her back. I've missed your ramen every single day, Naruto confessed, causing everyone to chuckle. Tuke came out of the kitchen. Naruto, my boy, welcome back. We missed our favorite redhead, Tuke said as he joined the hug. Well, I bet you couldn't find any good ramen out there? Am I right? Tuke asked. No one can make ramen like you, old man, Naruto replied, his mouth watering. Damn right, there isn't anyone who can match me. Come on, the whole meal for you and your friends is on the house, Tuke said, not realizing he would later regret this. They all cheered. Throughout the meal, Ayam explained how the village had deteriorated after he was driven out. In return, Naruto talked about his new family and home, as well as the people he had met and befriended. They were already aware of the supernatural world, as Kakashi had told them beforehand. They began to fear for their own safety, realizing that in a village like Konoha that was falling apart, they might not be able to remain safe. Naruto offered them the opportunity to come to Kiri, describing how much it had changed. The bloody mist was gone. Kiri was now more like the Konoha Hashirama had envisioned, peaceful, kind, strong, and most importantly, a true home. They told him they would give him their answer at the end of the Chunin exam. Naruto also told them about his love life. That's my boy. Of course, my ramen helped you grow. No wonder so many girls fell for you, a very proud Tuke said. Although I don't approve of having so many relationships because it usually ends badly, I'm happy that you found love with those girls. Just remember to invite us to the wedding, Ayam said as she got another bowl for Natsu. Of course, Naruto replied, finishing his last bowl. Ha! I win! I ate more ramen than you. Natsu Dragneel shouted. Whatever. I could still kick your ass any day, Naruto retorted. Is that a challenge? Natsu said, getting fired up. Shut up, you two, Gray Fullbuster said. Shut up, you stripper. Naruto and Natsu said in unison. Gray, your clothes, Lucy pointed out. Gray slightly panicked and started looking for his clothes. His friends are definitely strange, Ayam and Tuki thought, seeing someone who resembled Naruto, a guy with pink hair, and a guy who unconsciously stripped. That's enough, you two. We're not here to destroy the village, Urza ordered in a scary voice. Both Naruto and Natsu said, hugging each other in fear. Didn't we leave Happy back home? Lucy asked. Happy was a member of Fairy Tail, and the team consisted of Natsu, Gray, and herself, with Urza as the leader. He was also a talking, flying cat. They left and headed to their next destination, the Uchiha compound. Knock knock coming, an older woman's voice said. She opened the door and immediately hugged him, as she knew who the redhead was. Naruto, you're alive, Mikato said with tears of joy. She had thought Naruto had died all those years ago and had never forgiven herself for not protecting him. When Kakashi told her he was alive and safe, the burden was lifted from her shoulders. I missed you too, Mikato Kachin. Naruto replied, tears in his own eyes. She had been there for him during his childhood, raising him as her own, while Kushina had been absent. Come in, I want to hear what's been going on with your life. Mikato gestured. The group entered the Uchiha house to find Itaki, Hiruzen, and Konohamaru and his friends. The children had been following Hiruzen around all day, and Hiruzen had decided to visit Mikato to talk about Naruto's arrival for the Chunin exam. It was a pleasant chat. Mikato offered them dinner, but they had already eaten at Ichiraku's ramen. He told them stories of his adventures around the world after making Kiri his home. They were saddened to hear that Kiri was his new home but were still happy to learn that he was living a joyful life. Konohamaru and his friends wanted to know how Naruto could create swords out of thin air, but he told them it was a secret. It was nice to hear how much Naruto had learned about the world. "Hey, you have a piano," Naruto shouted to Mikato. He had learned how to play it. "Do you know how to play, Naruto-kun?" Itaki asked, a little surprised. He hadn't thought Naruto had the patience to learn an instrument. "Yeah, do you want to hear one of my songs?" "Yeah," the kids shouted. In the short time they had known him, he had become their idol. Stories of him fighting monsters and demons were great to hear. "Yuki, remember my soul, your beat?" he asked Yuki. She was usually the singer for Naruto's songs. She nodded, got up, and walked over to Naruto. Everyone applauded their performance. "That was amazing, Naruto," Mikato said as she went to hug him. "That's some talent, my boy," Hiruzen said with a proud smile. "I still can't believe you learned how to play the piano," Itaki joked. People gave him a blank stare. "Awesome! That was so cool!" Konohamaru shouted. "Do you know any other songs?" Mogi asked. She loved the song and wanted to hear more. "Thanks, everyone. I do have more songs, but it's time for me to go. If you guys set up a time for me to play during the Chunin exam, I'd be more than happy to perform for everyone." With that, he left with his friends to go back to the hotel. Mikato began devising a plan to have him perform during the finals to show everyone his talent. The Hokage towered. "Damn it. I'm going to see him," Kushina screamed. Her son, who had vanished all those years ago, was now back home, and she wanted to see him. Tsunade and Minato were restraining her in the office. "I can't let you, Kushina-chan," Minato said firmly. "I want to see him too, but the situation is very delicate. If we make one wrong move, war could come to Konoha, and we'll never see him again." Minato understood the danger of seeing Naruto or forcing him to return. "I don't care," she struggled to break free. "Kushina, you need to calm down," Tsunade yelled at her surrogate daughter. She knew Naruto's disappearance had hurt her, but she had to be smart about seeing him again. "Kushina, you need to understand that if we force Naruto, you could lose him forever," Jiraiya told her. Kushina finally broke down, crying. She wanted to mend her relationship with Naruto but couldn't. "I just want to have my baby back." The academy building, the exam room. The next day, "Suzuki-kun, you're late," a blonde girl in purple yelled. The pink-haired girl, Sakura, began yelling at the one in purple, whom she revealed to be Ino. She called Ino pig, and Ino responded by calling her billboard brow. "Dear God, they are green," several of the older genin whispered. They noticed how these Konoha genin were too new to be taking the Chunin exam. They figured Konoha was trying to show off. Two boys approached the Konoha group. One was large with a bag of chips, and the other had a lazy look. The lazy one was muttering something about a troublesome blonde. "Yahoo! It looks like all the rookies are here," another boy shouted as he and his team joined the growing Konoha group. "You should be a little quieter," a new guy with glasses said as he approached the group. "You're just rookies, fresh out of the academy. You're drawing unwanted attention to yourselves, as you can see," he pointed out. The rookies saw many teams glaring at them. Sakura asked him about the exams and found out that the guy, Kabuto, had taken the exam 7 times, including this one. Kabuto decided to show them his info cards, which contained information on almost every shinobi who had taken the exams before, along with details about previous exams. He showed them the basic information about the exams but told them that this was the first time in a while that all 5 hidden villages were participating. It seems there is 1 team from Suna, 21 from AIM, 15 from Kusa, 72 from Konoha, 1 from Oto, 1 from Kumo, and 1 from Kiri. Suzuki stepped forward to Kabuto. "Then you have information on the skills of most of the genin here?" he asked. "Of course, anyone in particular?" Kabuto asked with a smirk. "Sabaka no Gara," Suzuki requested. "Also, Terumi." Naruto, Mito struggled to say. It pained her that her brother had left their family for another. "Is Naruto her brother?" Ino asked Hinata. She nodded, confirming her suspicion. "You already know their names, that's no fun." Kabuto took out the card that contained Gaara's information. He is the son of the Kaze Kage and is the teammate of his elder siblings Kankuro and Temari. He has completed 12 C ranks and, wow, even 1 B rank. It's also said he completed all his missions without getting a single scratch, surprising the rookies and several other teams. The next one is Terumi Naruto. He is a Jonin from Kiri. He is also the adopted son of Terumi Mei, the current Mizukage. He was personally trained by Yagura, the previous Mizukage. He is a master swordsman and a member of the legendary Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. He is capable of creating many swords out of thin air. This got Tenten's attention. It also states that he is engaged to multiple women due to being in the CRA and that he is an important member of several alliances that he made for Kiri. This, of course, surprised many of the Konoha genin and made Mito even sadder to see her brother so far away. The teams from Kiri and Kumo only smirked at the information about their friend being spread to the younger generation of Konoha. Jonin Lounge. We find Naruto and Urza heading to the Jonin Lounge to wait for their genin. There, they run into Killer B. He was sent with his genin by the Raikage, to show off their strength. "Yo, little nine," he said, giving Naruto a fist bump. "I see that red here is looking fine." He only received a smack from Naruto. "I take it that Yujito-chan isn't here?" he asked. "Nah man, she didn't want to take a team like a fan. She'll come during the finals, ya fool, be horribly wrapped." B-san. "I told you before that you should stop talking like that," Urza said. "Don't hate the player, hate the game," he replied. Kakashi walked over to talk to Naruto. "Naruto, you actually showed up for the exams. I expected you to be a genin, but this works too," he said with his usual ice smile. Asuma, Guy, and Korone walked up to join in. They went on to talk about their teams. "You guys recommended rookies. That isn't the brightest idea," Naruto told the Konoha Jonin. "I know, but the experience is good for them. It might whip them into shape," Asuma said. "They have potential. I believe in them," Korone responded. "So what's the deal with your team, Naruto?" Kakashi asked. "I already know that Haku and Suijutsu are more than enough to be Chunin. How about the blue-haired one?" "The blue-haired one is my other fiancée. She's part of another organization for which I secured an alliance. I can't tell you which one due to politics and secrecy, but it started with friendship and became love," Naruto said, blushing when he mentioned love. "That's adorable," Korone said, seeing his innocence when talking about love, but still a little wary of the multiple fiancés. "Lucky brat," a jealous Asuma muttered. He was hearing about a kid who was already as strong as he was or even stronger and who had a harem of girls who were mostly okay with it. "Naruto, you make me proud," Kakashi said with a perverted tone. "If they're as good as you say, why are they still genin?" Kakashi told us that two of them gave his team a hard time, Asuma asked. "Well, she is really a filler for my team. The others were never part of the Shinobi Corps, so they needed to start somewhere," Naruto said, trying to feign ignorance, and failing miserably. "You're still a bad liar, Naruto. I would have believed you more if you hadn't paused," Kakashi responded. "Damn it. Still can't hide anything," Naruto said as he was interrupted. "You never could," Urza said. The others laughed. "They're here to show that Kiri is strong. After the Civil War, which I still can't talk about, many people thought we were weak. Mom is using the exam to show that we have strength," Naruto said. "I thought so. It does make sense. People won't go to a village for high-rank mission requests if the people just got out of a war and are tired of fighting," Asuma said. The tower in the Forest of Death. During the second exam survival course, Kakashi's team faced some challenges. Orochimaru attacked them, giving Sasuke the curse mark and sealing away Kurama's chakra from Mito. They barely managed to complete the exam, arriving on the final day. Naruto's team, however, finished within the first 4 hours of the exam. The course was simple for them, as they had already undergone similar training before joining Kiri. Despite their speed, they weren't the first team to arrive. Urza's team had made it to the tower in the first 2 hours. Natsu had used his keen sense of smell to locate the necessary scroll. It was only thanks to Lucy's intervention that they went to the tower for food instead of hunting for more teams to fight. On the final day, all the successful genins were gathered in the arena, where Minato was giving a speech. Kushina was also present and could only stare at Naruto, who completely ignored her. Minato delivered the standard speech for the exams, and Itaki emerged to proctor the matches. Everyone then moved to the stands. Kushina tried to approach Naruto to talk to him, but he deliberately went to the opposite side of the stands, away from where the Konoha teams were gathered. Sasuke vs Yoroi. Sasuke wins. Same as canon. Good job, Sasuke, Itaka said with a smile before Kakashi took him away to seal the curse mark. Tenten vs Temari. Temari wins. Same as canon. Temari walked up to the stands and heard someone near her comment on her performance. Brutal, but effective. Nice work, Naruto said. Thanks, she replied with a smile. She knew it was a bad idea to get on his bad side. Lucy vs Sakura. Alright. I'm up, both girls shouted. Good luck, Sakura-chan, Lee yelled, which only seemed to creep her out. You've got this in the bag, Natsu reassured his friend. The two girls descended to the arena to fight. Begin, Itaka said, leaping out of the way. Sakura threw several kunao, but Lucy easily dodged them. Sakura then attempted to use the clone jutsu for a frontal assault. Lucy pulled out her Fluve Diatoil's whip and ensnared all the clones. She didn't want to use her keys for the match, saving them for the finals. All the clones vanished until only the real Sakura was captured. Lucy then slammed her to the ground. Sakura got up, but she was bruised. Lucy decided to end the fight and charged at her. Lucy's kick. Lucy yelled, delivering a powerful kick that knocked Sakura out. Everyone's sweat dropped at the name of the kick. Ahem. The winner is Lucy of Fairy Tail, Itaki announced. Whoa, I told you that you got this, Natsu cheered. Man, that match was a kick to the face. Be wrapped. Haku vs Ino. The two girls walked down to the arena. Begin. Ino immediately went for her signature clan jutsu. Mind-body switch jutsu, Ino shouted. Haku allowed it to happen. Inside her mind, Haku was flooded with memories of her father killing her mother and trying to kill her. What truly shocked her was the horrors of the bloodline war. Ino instantly released the jutsu and fainted. I didn't do anything, Haku commented. That was too quick. The winner is Haku Yuki. Natsu vs Dosu. Natsu jumped down while Dosu calmly walked down. Begin. Dosu started charging at Natsu, intending to disrupt his hearing. However, Fire Dragon Roar. Natsu shouted his spell. It instantly engulfed Dosu in flames. He hadn't expected a jutsu to be that fast. Itaka saved him, but he was badly burned. Ha! New record. The winner is Natsu Dragneel, Itaki announced. Yes, beat that, Gray, a jubilant Natsu yelled. Just you wait, you pyro, Gray shouted back. Shikamaru vs Samui. The two walked onto the stage. Begin. Shikamaru immediately went for his shadow possession jutsu. However, Samui anticipated this and jumped back to create distance. She then drew her tanto and went through some hand signs. Lightning style, lightning bolt. She channeled lightning into her blade and shot a bolt at Shikamaru. He was in the middle of his jutsu and couldn't move. He took the hit but was knocked out. The winner is Samui of Kumo. What the hell? Asuma shouted in surprise. He had thought Shikamaru would easily win. Looks like your student can't take a hit, Kurane said with a smirk. Gray vs Zuka. Zuka sent several sound waves at Gray, but he countered them with Ice Make Lance. He immediately took Zuku out. The winner is Gray Full Buster. Ha, how fast was that? Gray asked Itaki. About the same as Natsu, he replied stoically. No way, it has to be faster than his. Get over it, Ice Stripper. I won, Natsu shouted at him. Gray went up to the stands to have a small argument with him. Karui vs Amwa. I surrender. I don't feel like getting beaten up, Amwa said when his name was called. Alright, the winner is Karui. Damn it, Amwa, you're too lazy. Karui yelled at him. So not cool, Samui said. If I fought Karui, she would beat me up for calling her chest flat. At that moment, the angry redhead hit him on the head. He then continued his theory. Then I would end up in the hospital where Konoha Shinobi could torture me for information on Killer Bee Sensei and get away with it because they would deny it and say they were just healing me. Naruto and his group sweat dropped at their friend's imagination. Yuki vs Gaara. Both of them walked down to the arena. Gaara released his sand, and Yuki drew Sakia. Tenten stared at her beautiful katana after she finally recovered. Armor suddenly formed all around her, surprising many. Begin. Gaara started with a wave of sand, trying to capture her. She simply struck the sand with Sakia, and it fell to the ground. This surprised everyone, especially the people from Suna. Gaara tried to raise his sand again, but he couldn't. What's happening? This is the first time Gaara has had trouble controlling his sand, Beiki thought. Yuki smirked at his inability to use his sand. She had cut off the connection between the sand and the shikaka that was controlling it. She then went in for the attack. She took a slash, and blood spilled out. What is this? Gaara said as he touched his wound. It's blood. My blood. Gaara screamed. Don't bother to fight. Just give up. That cut completely severed your connection with your sand demon. My sword has the ability to affect spirits of all kinds, she said, pointing Sakia. Minato and Kushina were shocked that a weapon existed that could cut the connection between a Jinchuriki and their demon. You are too dependent on your demon that you've never used your own power. I can end this now, but it would be easier for you to surrender. Why? Why won't mother help me? Why can't I hear her? Gaara was too preoccupied with his mother issues to fight back. Yuki dashed toward him and knocked him out with the hilt of her blade. Beiki came down and took him away. The winner is Yuki Nanaka. Rock Lee vs Suijutsu. Both jumped down, ready for a fight. Begin. Leaf Hurricane. Lee shouted, kicking Suijutsu. He was surprised to find that his attack went straight through him. What the? Lee was surprised to find his opponent was made of water. Oh, didn't you know? We Hojiki have a Kekii Genkai. It allows us to turn our bodies into water. From the looks of it, you only know Taijutsu. You won't win if you can't hit me, Suijutsu said with a smile. He knew Lee wouldn't win this fight. Lee went on with a barrage of attacks. In the end, they all failed. Suijutsu just sat there, drinking water, waiting for him to give up. Lee refused to give up and continued to attack for 15 minutes straight. In the end, Itaki ended the match, declaring Suijutsu the winner. The winner is Suijutsu. Of course, Itaka received many complaints about the fight. Itaka stated that Lee couldn't land a hit, and Suijutsu had punched him once. That was enough, and they couldn't do this all day. Suijutsu went back to the stands with a smug grin. That match was too easy for him. Lee cried and went on about doubling, no, tripling his training. Kin vs. Kiba begin. Kiba immediately went for his clan's signature move of man-beast clone in passing fangs. Kin dodged them and threw a senbon with a nail at him. Kiba continued his endless attack, failing every time. He eventually exhausted himself and fainted. He had been under a genjutsu the entire time, and Kin had simply watched him waste his chakra. The winner is Kin. Kurotsuki vs. Kankuro. The match ended with Kurotsuki using her lava style to melt his puppet. He had no other way to fight and surrendered after losing his puppet. Niji vs. Hinata. Winner Niji, same as Kanon Mito, was the last to go and she fought against some random Konoha shinobi. She went in with her shadow clone jutsu and overwhelmed him. At the end of the fights, Minato congratulated everyone. He informed them that the finals would be in 1 month and they should use the time to train. The winners went up to draw a number from the lottery to find out who they would be fighting. First match, Yuki vs. Suzuki. Second match, Niji vs. Mito. Third match, Kin vs. Lucy. Fourth match, Natsu vs. Gray. Fifth match, Tamari vs. Samui. Sixth match, Karui vs. Suijutsu. Seventh match, Haku vs. Kurotsuki. And Naruto, can I see? Minato asked, but stopped. Poof, a white tiger cub appeared in front of Naruto and his friends. It was Felix, the son of Byakko and Naruto's personal white tiger summon. Naruto, I have an important message for you. Dear Naruto, the demon race is on the move, and we suspect they will come after you for the relic you have on you. The 10 commandments may be after you. Be careful and take care of Yuki. Jin Tujao, leader of the hero tribe. Not good, Naruto thought, gripping the letter. He tossed it to Yuki to read. Thanks, Felix. Felix nodded and left. This isn't good, Naruto-kun, Yuki said worriedly. I know. We need to leave the village and warn the others. Get somewhere safe, Naruto said with a grim expression. Kushina and Minato overheard him and became worried. Naruto, we can. Kushina tried to talk to him. Stay out of this. This is Kiri business. Konoha can't get involved, he said coldly. This only brought tears to Mito and Kushina. Naruto, we. Minato said before being cut off. Like he said, stay out of our business, Yuki said harshly. She knew the situation was dangerous and getting people like Konoha involved wasn't smart. Naruto passed the letter to B, who read it. I will tell my brother, B said seriously without rapping, surprising his students. I will tell mom, he said. B tossed the letter to Urza. Urza adopted a serious look like the other three. Urza, you stay here and keep an eye on our people. She nodded at his command. Yuki, we're leaving now. Right. Both left immediately. Natsu was shouting, what's going on? He wanted to know what had everyone on edge. Naruto, Kushina shouted, trying to reach her son, but B stood in her way. Konoha shouldn't get involved. Unless you want to start a war, B said seriously again. This made her and Minato flinch. B knew there were elements in Konoha that would take advantage of the supernatural world for their own gain and cause a lot of trouble. War would be the most likely outcome, and it wouldn't be with the hidden villages. It would be with an entire race, forcing their hand. Minato and Kushina flinched at his statement. They wondered what their son could have gotten himself into that would cause a war. Minato restrained Kushina from following him. He didn't want to bring war to his home. Naruto and Yuki left Konoha. Staying there would lead to the deaths of many innocent people. For over a millennium, the demon race was known as the most brutal and hostile of all races. They would always seek out the blood of any race during the dark times. After the Great War, the demon race was sealed away, but there were still stragglers who weren't sealed. Given their long lifespan, they could still be around today. Even after their defeat, the wounds they left behind never faded. The hero tribe is a prime example of this. They are a group of humans who remember the dark times and fight to keep them at bay. They hunt down the remnants of the demon race and any others that pose a threat to the peace that came after the war. Even with the constant wars between humans, also known as shinobi, it was still more peaceful than before. However, trouble had been brewing, and the hero tribe no longer had the strength to single-handedly maintain the peace. This was why they had revealed themselves to Kumo and Kiri. Naruto was close with the leaders of both villages, and he was also close with the hero tribe, so they needed to build a force capable of fighting the demons and anyone else who would destroy the peace. Naruto sent Felix to his mother to relay the message from Jin. She replied, telling Zabuza and Mainjutsu to guard Konoha from the demons. Although shinobi were powerful, there weren't any shinobi fighting in the war, so they couldn't gauge themselves against the demons. They could only assume the worst was coming for Naruto. Leaving the village to go into hiding was the best choice for the two of them. Yuki would be targeted because she was a descendant of the hero who fought in the war. Naruto holds part of a key to unseal the demon race from their prison. Bee and Erza had to stay back in Konoha so things wouldn't seem off to the village. Zabuza and Mainjutsu would cover the training that Naruto should have been giving to Haku and Suijutsu. Naruto and Yuki headed to one of the safe houses in the Land of Fire. Fire Base 2 is one of the safe houses stationed in the country. It was decided by A, Mei, and Jin that they would need secret bases all over the world. Even though creating bases in another country would be a sign of war, they risked it. After all, they found several bases in their own country with the symbol NE on them. It was obvious that Konoha was doing it, but they denied that it was their base that was illegally stationed there. All safe houses that were created had the mark of the hero tribe to show they belonged to them. The hero tribe itself was a mystery, so it couldn't be traced to either village. The supernatural world was still a mystery to the shinobi world. It was important to keep that hidden as much as possible. The group created their own task force to handle the supernatural world. People from the hero tribe, Kumo, and Kiri would join this group and fight against enemies belonging to the supernatural world. It should be obvious that Erza, Bee, Naruto, Yuki, Zabuza, and Mainjutsu are some of the members of the special task force. They would still be part of their own villages, but when the threat occurred, they would have to fight against it. The base itself is a cabin near a lake. All bases were designed to look like a regular building. This base was designed for hiding. There were bases for rendezvous with members of the force, bunkers for keeping sensitive information, and others for other purposes. This brings back memories, Yuki said with a smile. Yeah, just like when we first met, Naruto responded. Flashback 5 years ago. Hero tribe spend some time here. You will like it, the mysterious person said as they dropped off Naruto at the hero's tribe and left. After a few years in Kiri with his new family, the mysterious person returned. This individual wished to introduce Naruto to the wider supernatural world, believing his unique nature made him an ideal candidate. Mei and Yagura were hesitant, but ultimately agreed to let the person take Naruto away. It was a chance for him to grow stronger and for their village to gain a better understanding of the threats posed by the supernatural realm. Naruto was capable of using prana, a skill no one in the shinobi world knew how to help him with. It was a risky decision that ultimately paid off. Naruto was brought before the elders, who permitted him to stay and spend some time with them. For the time being, Jin Tujao was placed in charge of him. Jin, one of their most powerful heroes, considered it vital to keep the boy, who had a connection to the mysterious person, close. For Jin, it was just another babysitting assignment, so he let Naruto explore the forest where many children played. As Naruto walked, he heard a voice. Help! Wolf! A young girl screamed. Naruto raced toward the sound of her cry. He saw a light blue-haired girl being attacked by a wolf. Naruto summoned a standard katana, killing the wolf instantly. The girl then immediately tackled him in a hug. Thank you. I was so scared. I thought that wolf was going to get me, she sobbed into his chest. After giving her a few moments to cry, Naruto spoke. It's no problem at all. I'm just glad you're not hurt, he said with a smile, causing the girl to blush. By the way, my name is Naruto Terumi. I'm new here. I'm Yuki Nanaka. What do you mean you're new here? Outsiders aren't allowed in the hero tribe's home, she said, looking at him cautiously. Oh, a friend brought me here. The elders put Tujao-san in charge of me while I stay. My friend said it would be a chance for me to do some normal things, like a kid would. I've been training a lot lately and haven't had much of a childhood, he said with a sad smile. Seeing this, Yuki decided to show him a good time. Okay then. Let's go play, she said, and they ran through the forest, playing until nightfall. This became a routine during Naruto's stay. He asked Jin for permission to have a sleepover at the Nanaka residence. Jin just smiled and walked away, which Naruto interpreted as a yes. Mom, Dad, I'm home, she announced from the doorway. Welcome home, Mrs. Nanaka said. She then noticed the redhead standing behind her. Oh, who is this? This is Naruto. He's my new friend, which brought a smile to her mother's face. She knew her daughter wasn't an outgoing person and didn't have many friends. Is it all right for him to stay? Tujao-san said it was okay, she said. This surprised her mother. Mentioning Jin was something you only did if you revered him. Of course it's okay, Mrs. Nanaka said with a smile. I'll bake some sweets for you too. She went to the kitchen to bake a batch of cookies. Naruto and Yuki spent their time in the living room. She was too embarrassed to let Naruto into her room. As they played a board game, Naruto heard a small eep. He turned to the doorway and saw a little girl. Hey there, Naruto said, waving to her. I'm Naruto Terumi. Who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you spending so much time with Nei-chan? The little girl demanded, upset that she was losing Yuki's attention to him. Wow, you're quite the protective type, Naruto said, patting her head to make her even more annoyed. I'm just here to spend time with my friend. I don't care. You're taking my Nachan away, she said, then ran off. Who is she? Naruto asked. She's my younger sister, Kurumi. She's always had trouble getting along with strangers. I hope she didn't hurt your feelings, Yuki said with a sigh. Of course not. I just hope she'll open up to others instead of just her family. I'm going to help her, Naruto said with determination. Good luck. You'll need it, Yuki said with a giggle. For the next 2 weeks, Kurumi maintained her tough girl act with Naruto. She rejected the cookies he made for her and any attempts at a proper conversation. Then one day, Kurumi was left in Yuki's care, who took her to play with Naruto. Hey, Kurumi, Naruto said, running up to give her a hug. Hey, get off me, pervert, she yelled at him, making him let go. Fine, Naruto said, looking disappointed. So, what do you guys want to play today? How about hide and seek? Yuki asked, receiving a nod from the other two. Great idea. You two hide, and I'll look for you in 5 minutes, Naruto said. The girls nodded. 5 minutes later, Naruto searched the forest for the two but couldn't find them. Then, a voice that sounded like Kurumi screamed. Shit, Kit. I sense a devil from that direction, Kurama shouted from his seal. Naruto immediately sprinted toward the source of the voice. It's your time to die, hero scum, a devil said, preparing to stab Kurumi. Help! Kurumi screamed, tears streaming down her face. Call all you want. You will die, the devil said, plunging his sword toward Kurumi. But something else happened. Naruto dove in between them and took the blow. Oh well. At least one of you filthy humans died, the devil said, trying to pull his sword out, but he couldn't. Naruto was holding onto the sword. Run, Kurumi. Run, Naruto said, coughing up blood. I can't leave you behind. You'll die, Kurumi cried out. Just run. You're more important to me. If I die saving you, then I'll die with no regrets, he said slowly, beginning to lose consciousness from blood loss. The devil pulled out his sword, causing more blood to spill. Kurumi just held on to Naruto. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been horrible to you. I don't deserve your kindness, she cried, holding the bleeding Naruto. Don't cry. I don't like seeing you sad, Naruto said as his last words. Now die, hero scum, the devil yelled. Just then, Jin appeared and killed the devil. Please, save him, Kurumi pleaded between sobs. Don't worry, Kurumi-chan. It'll take more than that to kill Naruto-kun. The boy is special, Jin said, comforting Kurumi and picking them both up to take them home. Yuki showed up at the end, only to cry for Naruto and comfort Kurumi. The sisters were both worried for their friend. They thought all the blood he had lost would kill him. Jin knew better. Naruto wasn't normal, and a simple stab wouldn't kill him. He also noticed that Naruto's blood was a little darker than it should be. 2 days later in Naruto's room, Kurumi and Yuki never left. They took care of him as best as they could. Currently, Yuki and Kurumi had fallen asleep on top of Naruto's bed. Yawn. So what's happened lately? Naruto said, waking them up. Kurumi immediately tackled him in a hug. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have been nicer to you like you were to me, Kurumi cried out. Naruto just embraced her while Yuki watched them. There's nothing to be sorry about. You're just being honest with yourself now. I'm happy about it, Naruto said, calming her down. From that day on, the three of them spent all their time together. This continued for the next few months. Then the day came when the mysterious person came to pick him up. Will I ever see you again? Kurumi cried. Of course. I promise to come back, Naruto said as he hugged her. Naruto-kun, I want you to know. Whatever happens, I will always be by your side. If I have to share you, I will always be by your side, Yuki said, giving him her first kiss and running off. This made Kurumi jealous, and she ran after her. I don't get her. What does she mean? A stunned Naruto said. You will understand one day, Naruto-kun, the mysterious person said. End of flashback. Good times, they both said at the same time. Their meeting had changed the girls' lives. The problem still remains, Yuki said seriously. Yeah, Naruto said, gripping his chest. They'll be coming after it. If Jin is right, then we won't survive. That's why I'm here, someone said suddenly from the corner of the room. Both of them jumped, startled by the mysterious voice. They hadn't sensed anyone in the cabin. The person came out of the shadows, revealing herself. Merlin, the boar sin of gluttony. Naruto scoffed. It's been a long time. The two began to relax once they saw who it was. You've come a long way since the day I saved you and gave you the power of magic, she said with a smile, recalling the good time she had spent time with him. It's good to see you, Merlin-sama, Yuki said with a bow. Merlin was one of the strongest and oldest humans alive. She held a lot of influence over the hero tribe and several other races. I assume you're here to help us deal with the demon race hunting me? Of course. I was the one who told Jin about their movements. So are you going to help fight off a possible Ten Commandments member? Yuki asked. No, she said with a grin. What? Both of them shouted. They had expected her to help them. Why? Naruto shouted. Because she is going to help you, Merlin said, pointing behind her. Then another person came out. It put Yuki on edge. Introduce yourself. I'm Zest. Merlin-sama created me to be in service to you, Naruto-sama. Zest appeared to be a tall, beautiful young woman with short white hair, tan skin, and golden green eyes, with an incredible figure that would make many girls jealous. She also had a rabbit tail and horns shaped like rabbit ears. She was wearing a black and white maid outfit. In other words, to describe her, she was a demon. Why is there a demon here? Yuki said darkly. Unlike Naruto, she didn't trust any race that wasn't human. Naruto had learned to give everyone a chance. It was ironic that he had no problem with other races that weren't trying to kill him, but he had issues when dealing with his old family and village. Don't be like that, Yuki-chan, Merlin said in a childlike tone. I created her. She's here to become Naruto's personal maid, she said with a clap. A maid, Naruto shouted. I don't need anything like that. Naruto tried to reject her. However, he couldn't help himself and looked at her figure. The only person whose figure could compare was his own mother, and even she would lose against Zest. Don't be like that, Naruto-kun. She's a lot like you, Merlin said cheerfully. How so? Naruto said, narrowing his eyes at the demon. He didn't see anything he had in common with her. She has the same demon blood that I injected into you all those years ago, Merlin answered, surprising the two. What do you mean? Naruto said seriously. You told me that blood should overpower anyone and kill them. I was apparently a lucky one not to die from the injection. I did say that. However, Zest isn't like the demons you've fought before. I personally created her. I felt like you would like some company in the long run, turning the atmosphere sad. Yuki knew exactly what she meant. Because I'm half demon, right? Naruto asked. The procedure had saved his life, but it came with a price. The blood had rewritten his biology. Naruto had been converted to half demon, half human, a being who would outlive humanity. Yuki just held on to him. She knew that he didn't want to lose her or the other girls, but time would take them away. Yuki had made it her mission to find a way to live as long as Naruto. The few viable options right now included the demon blood that Naruto had been injected with, but it had a 50% success rate. I know you love those girls, but someone by your side constantly won't be a bad thing, Merlin said sadly. She wanted to help him as much as possible, but there were some things she couldn't stop. Zest here will be with you forever. That won't help much. You can fall in love with her. It's always possible. Something that made both kids cringe. He knew he could fall for her and hold on tightly to her because they were the same. Yuki cringed because she was afraid that Naruto would abandon her for her. It would be less painful that way when she died. Enough with the depressing talk. That isn't the only reason I created her. She could be your other half. The two looked at her for clarification. Her power varies from close range to long range attacks. Naruto, you're the same, but with weapons. You will meet people in the world you can't defeat that way. You would need more than swords, the Hellblaze, and full counter that came with the blood. Swords and arrows can be broken by others. Her power relies on crafting powerful attacks from her body or objects, not objects created from pure prana. It should be clear that it's Meliodas' blood in Naruto and Zest now. It made sense. There were some people who had the power to easily defeat his unlimited blade works, full counter, and Hellblaze. Kisame came to mind. Somehow, his same Hata was also capable of eating prana. It was unclear if it was always capable of this or if someone else had interfered. It didn't matter because Naruto would have died during that encounter if it weren't for his mom. Zest could fight like an enchanter but still fight like Naruto, covering his weaknesses in magical capabilities. Fine. I will accept her, Naruto gave in. The others are not going to like this. I don't like it already, Yuki said, causing Merlin to chuckle. Now, she's a nice girl. I think you might find your answer in her, Yuki-chan, Merlin said as she disappeared. Yuki picked up on what Merlin had said. Can this demon really help me find out how to live as long as Naruto-kun? Yuki thought. The only thing Yuki could think of was the blood inside her, and she knew the risks. There's something I'm missing. There was a reason the demon blood accepted Naruto. Something no one knew but Merlin. A girl could have fun with other people's lives. Time skip, 3 weeks the two spent their time at the hideout with their new addition. It was strange for Naruto to have his own personal maid. She always prioritized Naruto first and obeyed his commands. Naruto did his best to get her to live a life like anyone else. It was a very slow process, but Naruto finally succeeded. Zest made a request. She asked for a moment to talk alone. Flashback Naruto-sama. Why are you treating me with respect? Zest asked. Is it wrong? No, but I'm your maid. I was created to serve you, Zest said. So, you are a living being who deserves to live. You may have been created to serve me, but you can still live the life you want. I don't understand. Just do what you want. Tell me, what is it that you want right now? Naruto said with determination in his eyes. He wanted Zest to be a living person, not a hollow being that just did what it was told. Zest unconsciously placed her hand over her heart. She began to remember all the moments when Naruto would do things a maid should do and insisted that Zest relax and have some fun. He was always kind to her. Then, a genuine smile formed on her face. I want to be by your side, Naruto-sama. Flashback, and it was at that moment that Zest started to develop her own identity. She continued to serve Naruto, but she also began taking the initiative to do things on her own, like preparing meals and waking him up, tasks that Yuki would typically do. Yuki was not pleased with Zest's arrival. Mama's going to kill me, Naruto said aloud as they walked through the gates of Konoha. Having Zest around might be too much for Mei to handle. Another girl, and one with a body that surpasses hers, is not going to be an easy thing to explain. I'm sure she'll get over it. Zest isn't so bad, Yuki said. Flashback, Yuki took Zest away from the cabin for a private talk. After spending 2 weeks together, she felt the need to confront her. Zest, I don't like you, Yuki said coldly. Why? Zest asked. You're spending too much time with Naruto. But I'm his maid. I know that. It just feels like you're taking him away from me, she said, a tear rolling down her cheek. I don't understand. Is there something wrong with me serving him? Yuki took a moment to think. All Zest was doing was improving Naruto's life. What truly angered her was that Naruto was spending more time with her. Naruto-sama is accepting me for who I am. Can I ask you a question? Yuki said nothing. Do you accept me? Of course I accept you. Do you accept me as a demon? For what I am. Yuki remained silent. She couldn't accept her because she had been raised to fight demons. Even though Naruto was part demon, she could accept him because of the circumstances of his transformation. Then, it hit her, Merlin's words echoed in her mind, I think you can find your answer in her. Is it that? I can't accept her because she's a demon. She remembered being on guard the moment Zest was introduced. Even with Merlin's words, she hadn't trusted her. Naruto, on the other hand, had accepted her immediately. He hadn't cared that she was a demon. That was the difference. Naruto accepted others based on who they were, while Yuki judged them based on what they were. Zest, Yuki said, a shadow falling over her eyes. I'm sorry. I've been seeing you as a demon this whole time. You've done nothing wrong, and I'm treating you like you have. Naruto has other girls who do what you're doing, but I said nothing because they were human. This is the first time I've had to deal with another race. I should have seen you as the person Naruto sees you as. For that, I'm sorry. She bowed her head. Zest walked over and hugged her. Thank you, Zest said with a smile. From that moment on, Yuki began to accept her. They became friends, and Yuki started helping her with chores. Yuki theorized that Naruto's acceptance of others was the reason the demon blood accepted him. He hadn't rejected it like others would have, which would have killed him. Perhaps she needed to learn to accept others based on who they were, not what they were. Maybe then, the demon blood inside Naruto would accept her, and she could become like him and live with him. End of flashback. The group arrived in the village and noticed the increased number of people from all over the world. They were here for the final round of the Chunin exam. Along the way, many men stared at Zest. She was wearing her usual maid uniform, but her demonic features were hidden. Her tail was gone, and her ears were covered by her white hair. Her skin tone suggested she was from Kumo. Many people disliked anyone from Kumo due to the Hyaga incident a while back. Even if Zest looked like she was from Kumo, they didn't care. They were too busy staring at her impressive figure. Only Tsunade had a figure that could compete with hers. Naruto, Yuki, and Zest were heading to the hotel where their friends were staying. They needed to introduce their new friend. So, who's your friend? Mainjutsu said with a slightly flirtatious tone. This is Zest. My personal maid, Naruto said, blushing. Everyone from Kiri, Fairy Tail, and Kumo was in the same room. Everyone was looking at him with questioning expressions. Haku didn't look happy, and the guys looked jealous. Also, she's a demon. Everyone was silent until Zest revealed her ears and tail, surprising everyone. Before you freak out, she was created to help me, both in service and in combat, Naruto said, holding his hands up. After a few questions, they accepted her. Some had trouble at first, but in the end, it went well. Did we miss anything? Naruto asked. Not much. We told your friends that something important came up. Other than that, the Hokage is watching us closely, Zabuza said. So, nothing new then? Naruto asked. Nope, Suijutsu said. Knock knock. Zest went to answer the door. Hello, maid-san. Is Naruto-kun here? Naruto-sama, Zest called from the door. Naruto went to see who it was. Itaki. Hey, need anything from me? Naruto asked as he saw his friend. I came here with a request. I wish to battle you, Itachi said seriously. Why? Naruto asked. The Hokage and his wife have been bothering me and others to convince you to rejoin the village. I've refused many times, but they're persistent. They believe that you're incapable of protecting yourself. Even with all the proof, they refuse to see it and believe that you need to be protected by staying here, he said, letting the words sink in. That's bullshit, Gray shouted. Naruto could kick our asses any day of the week, Natsu said, defending his friend. Why won't they accept that Naruto-kun won't be part of their family anymore? Yuki said aloud. That is why I'm proposing this battle. It will not only show your skills but also force them to face reality. There's also one more thing. This got everyone's attention. I want you to meet your new sister. This surprised everyone. She was born 1 year after you left. I know you won't accept the Namikaze, but she deserves to meet you. All eyes turned to Naruto. He was ready to fight Itachi to stop the Namikaze's interference, but now there was the question of his new sister. Should he meet her or not? Next day stadium, the news spread fast. A fight between two prodigies from different villages was a must-see event. Everyone gathered at the stadium to watch. Some people from Kiri and Kumo had arrived early to the village. They had heard the stories and wanted to see him in action. Whistle, this is a big turnout, Naruto said from the center of the stage. I expected a crowd, but not this big, Itachi said stoically. I hope you're ready. Don't forget the side bet we made, Naruto said with a grin. They had bet on treating the winner and his friends to a meal. Natsu was all for it. Free food was always good. Kakashi appeared with a gust of leaves. It was agreed that he would be the referee for the match. I hope you two are ready. Naruto, I placed a large bet on you. Don't lose, causing Naruto to chuckle. I won't lose. Trace on, Naruto said with a confident grin. Two strange-looking swords appeared in his hands. Interesting swords, Naruto-kun, Itachi commented. He was surprised by how the swords had appeared out of nowhere. They were a matching pair, one white and one black, with intricate patterns. Their names are Kanshou and Byakuya. They represent the principles of yin and yang. They were named after the blacksmith who forged them and his wife, who threw herself into the furnace to give these swords a divine nature through human sacrifice, Naruto said. This background story surprised Kakashi and Itachi. All right then. Begin, Kakashi said, jumping out of the way. Naruto immediately charged at Itachi. Itachi threw 2 shuriken at Naruto and performed some hand seals. Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu. The 2 shuriken multiplied into many. However, this didn't stop Naruto. He continued his charge, cutting down the incoming shuriken without losing speed. Fast, Itachi thought. Naruto had managed to destroy all the shuriken that would have hit him in his charge without slowing down. Seeing that Naruto was getting close, he drew a tanto he had learned to fight with during his Umbu days and a kunao. Clash Itachi and Naruto were in a deadlock. Itachi had managed to block both blades. Not bad. But can you keep it up? Naruto kicked Itachi in the chest, pushing him back. He charged again. Itachi could only dodge and look for an opportunity. However, he didn't dodge every attack. He sustained several cuts on his arm and a couple on his face. Itachi saw an opening and punched Naruto. Fire style, great fireball jutsu, Itachi said, and a large fireball shot toward Naruto. Naruto only smirked. He threw both his blades at the fireball and dodged the attack. Itachi only had enough time to dodge one of the blades, the other one cut his leg quite deeply. Not good. He threw those swords knowing that I wouldn't be able to dodge them while using my jutsu. He now has the speed advantage. Trace on, Naruto yelled. Naruto traced a 150 cm Bichu AoE blade. He was closing in on Itachi. You're in my range. Naruto swung his blade. It surprised everyone with a good eye. A slash appeared from the right. A second one from overhead. A third one from the left. 3 slashes appeared in an instant. Naruto's blade hit Itachi's head, neck, and chest. Many people were horrified to see Itachi go down like that. Many wanted to know how he managed to create 3 simultaneous slashes. However, Itachi managed to replace himself with a crow clone, saving himself. The clone became a flock of crows after taking the blow. It's like my dance of the crescent moon, but far superior. I can only create 3 slashes like that with shadow clones, Heiei Gecko thought. Several others, like the Hokage, Kushina, Kakashi, and the other Jonin, had similar thoughts. Was that a space-time jutsu? Minato thought. He knew the only way for that attack to be possible was by using a space-time jutsu. Itachi appeared at a distance. That was an interesting technique. You created 3 slashes in an instant. Thanks, but that isn't my only trick. I'm sure you have your own. I do, but revealing it to the public isn't wise, he said, thinking about one of the Uchiha's most powerful techniques. Fine, I can fix that. I've always wanted to face you at your best, Naruto said as he raised his left arm and supported it with his other. I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unaware of loss, nor aware of gain. Withstood pain to create weapons, waiting for one's arrival. I have no regrets. This is the only path. My whole life was unlimited blade works, Naruto chanted. A ring of fire appeared below their feet and engulfed the two fighters, leaving only a massive fire dome. Everyone in the stands tried to figure out what happened. Sensors couldn't sense Itachi or Naruto anymore. The Hyuga couldn't see through it. What happened, many thought. Several smirks appeared on the faces of people from Kiri and Kumo. Inside Unlimited Blade Works, Itachi opened his eyes to see what had happened. He was in shock. Itachi saw a barren golden field with an unimaginable number of swords of all kinds sticking out of the ground. Many of them gave off a powerful aura. He then looked up to see many gears in the sky. However, one thing stood out, the Kyuubi. It was sleeping on the clouds. Welcome. This is Unlimited Blade Works, Naruto shouted as he gestured all around him. What exactly is it? Itachi said, still in shock. Naruto smirked. You could say it's a manifestation of my very soul. Considering that the Kyuubi and I are connected, he said while pointing to the sleeping fox. This is my very soul that has become its own world. Nothing can get in without my permission. You could say that I'm a god here, Naruto said as he summoned many blades behind him, ready to face him. Show me your power. Naruto sent the swords at him. Susanoo, Itachi whispered, and a full humanoid chakra being appeared around him, complete with armor and weapons. Interesting. Naruto created even more blades, so many that some might mistake them for an unlimited amount. Behind him, the two clashed. Outside, Kakashi went toward one of Naruto's friends to ask what had happened. Do you guys know what happened? Don't worry. It should be over soon, Yuki said. That's not the. Kakashi said, but he was cut off as the dome disappeared. They were surprised to see what had happened. A bloodied Itachi and a kneeling Naruto. His arm's clothing is destroyed. It must mean that he had to reattach it. It would be dangerous to draw on that power, Yuki thought as she examined him. Kakashi checked on both of them. Naruto was barely conscious, and Itachi was down and out. The winner is Naruto Terumi. Kiri's hotel room. After the fight, Naruto's friend was taken to the hotel room. They didn't trust Konoha when it came to Naruto. They believed that Konoha would use a Yamanaka to erase or change his memory. Besides, Naruto's injury wasn't serious. In the room, we find Naruto resting on his bed with Zest nearby. Team Naruto and Team Urza, and keep in mind that the team name is usually the leader's name in Naruto, were also in the room. Zabuza and Mainjutsu were out celebrating at the closest tavern. They had placed a large bet on Naruto and became rich. The team from Kumo wasn't too worried about Naruto. Are you okay, Naruto-sama? Zest asked as she wiped and examined the wound on his arm. I'm fine. It's already healed, he said with a smile, moving his arm as if it had never been damaged. I think she wasn't talking about that, Naruto-kun, Yuki said. She was thinking about how he healed his arm. Come on, Naruto. That wasn't cool, Natsu shouted. He was angry. I mean, I didn't get to see you kick his ass. This made several people sweat drop. To think that Natsu only cared about seeing the fight instead of his friend's healed arm. Shay, only you would care about a fight, Gray commented. What was that? Natsu responded. You too, calm down, Urza said threateningly. Naruto, what happened in there? Flashback in Naruto's soul, Itachi went all out. He went straight for his armored Susanoo as soon as all the blades were launched at him. Naruto summoned Gibalg and charged in as he created more Gibalg to attack him. Naruto screamed as he tried to pierce the Susanoo while having many other versions of Gibalg trying to pierce it as well. Damn, that's tough. The Susanoo is the Uchiha's ultimate defense. Breaking it would be tough, Itachi said with a smirk. Then try this, Naruto shouted. Kurama, I need some chakra. You got it, Kurama responded and gave him his chakra. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto created several hundred clones, which greatly surprised Itachi. He had never seen anyone create so many clones before. With this many clones, he should be dead, Itachi thought as he analyzed Naruto. He isn't tired. Interesting. Naruto commanded his clones to create many different blades to fight with. The clones created all kinds of swords, from demonic ones like Gram to holy ones like Durndal. They all attacked Itachi while the original stayed back and watched closely. The hundreds of clones managed to create several cracks in the Susanoo. That's it, Naruto thought. Naruto formed another spear. However, he didn't create this spear, it was one of Gibalg's techniques. Naruto charged at Itachi with the first spear aimed directly at one of the cracks in front of Itachi. Naruto broke through the Susanoo and managed to stab Itachi. He aimed somewhere to not kill him, but still immobilize him. Naruto jumped back to create some distance. Then he started to charge up the original Gibalg. It began to emit a lot of bloodlust. D-bulb alternate, soaring spear of piercing death. Naruto threw the spear, and it landed on Itachi, dealing him a great amount of damage. Itachi kept the Susanoo up for as long as he could while coughing up blood. Itachi tried to use his Yata mirror to defend against the incoming spear, but it failed. The Yata mirror was meant to transform the nature of any attack. However, D-bulb's power was far greater than the mirror's. That nearly killed me. I can see why he is considered an S-class shinobi. Naruto really isn't holding back. I should do the same. I hope this will impress you, Naruto-kun. Itachi gathered what was left of his chakra into his Susanoo. The red Susanoo began to change drastically. It became a large humanoid being made of chakra with a large broadsword. This is my perfect Susanoo. Itachi swung his sword at Naruto without any sealing technique in it. Naruto was still awestruck and didn't dodge in time. No, Itachi thought. The attack took off his arm. Naruto was on the ground, holding his missing arm while bleeding profusely. Naruto, Itachi shouted to see if he was okay. However, he felt something. Something dreadful. Then he saw what appeared to be black-purple flames coming off of Naruto. Those flames seem like my Amaterasu, he thought. The flames went for Naruto's cut-off arm and grabbed it. The flames brought it back and reattached it to Naruto. Then Naruto turned and faced Itachi. However, he was different. His eyes aren't the same as before. Also, there's that strange mark on his forehead, Itachi thought as he closely looked at him. Naruto's eyes were dark like a demon's, and the symbol looked like some kind of a swirl. Then Naruto disappeared and reappeared on top of his perfect Susanoo's head in a blink of an eye. What? Naruto then punched him, instantly destroying the perfect Susanoo and knocking out Itachi in the process. Flashback end. After that, I took back control and forced the demon blood back. Naruto finished his story. That could have ended badly, Naruto, Urza said. If you hadn't taken control of the demon blood, you could have killed him. The only people who fully understood Naruto's power were Yuki, Zest, and Urza. The rest either didn't pay attention or didn't know about it. I know. I'm just happy that he came out of it alive while I was like that, Naruto said. Yuki turned to Zest. Zest-san, Merlin-sama said that you were here to help Naruto. Is there anything you can do when he goes demon mode? Yuki asked hopefully. Actually, there is something. I'm born from the same demon blood that flows in Naruto-sama. Merlin did this to give me great demonic power and a strong connection to Naruto-sama at all times. I have the ability to suppress him if he loses control. However, doing so will leave him defenseless and exhausted. I recommend doing this only when it's safe for Naruto-sama or if there are allies nearby to aid me in protecting him, Zest answered. Yuki and Urza sighed in relief. The last time Naruto went into demon mode, he lost control. It was only thanks to Merlin that he was stopped. Good, someone said from the door. Mom, Naruto shouted, startled by his mother's sudden appearance. Mizuki-sama, Haku, and Suijutsu said when they noticed who it was and bowed. The others really didn't care about her status as Mizukage. It's good to see you're okay, son, Mei said with a warm smile. I saw the match between you and Konoha's crow. You made me and your home proud. She came in and gave him a hug. Now, who is your new friend, she said sweetly, but a red Hanya mask appeared behind her. It freaked everyone out, including Zest. Zest immediately hid behind Naruto, which only made the Hanya's terrifying presence grow. This is Z-Zest, Mom, he stuttered. Merlin created her to be MIMM maid, he said. Naruto was terrified by the Hanya, which grew when he mentioned maid. She's also someone to help me out in a fight, he quickly added. It didn't change the Hanya's aura. Would everyone kindly leave the room, Mei said. Everyone started to bolt for the door. Except for you, Naruto, she said sweetly. This caused him to freeze. All his friends gave him pitying looks. Then the door closed, and Mei Terumi, the Mizukage, slowly walked over to her son and taught him a lesson. Ah! Naruto screamed in terror from his mother. Yuki, I'm scared of Naruto-sama's mother, Zest commented. She and the others were outside his room. We all are, Gray said with a shiver. Not me, Natsu shouted as he tried to laugh it off. Then why are you still shaking? Lucy pointed out for everyone. They all saw that Natsu was still scared from Mei's little chat. Let's get some food, Suijutsu said as he walked away. The rest followed a second later. Everyone needed something to get their minds off of what was happening to Naruto. This would be the day that Naruto was abandoned by his friends to suffer a fate that many would not wish on others. The next day, the night before, was a painful lesson for Naruto. Many of Naruto's friends prayed that he would come out safe, but their prayers were ignored. You look like shit, man, Gray commented. Ha 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 ha. Natsu laughed and pointed at him. Come on, guys, that's not nice, Lucy tried to reprimand them. A blue cat with wings agreed, trying to stay on the good side of the red-headed monster named Urza, who was holding an ice pack to his head. She would give Natsu a glare to make him stop. Yuki and Zest had left to deal with some of the security threats against Naruto. A member from the hero tribe and an actual demon should be able to see if any demons were in Konoha. Haku went off to find Zabuza to inform him and Mainjutsu about Mei's arrival. Why did mom have to hit me? It's not my fault that Zest is better looking than her, it was Merlin who created her, Naruto muttered. That was one of the reasons for his mother's anger. Urza just grew a tick mark upon hearing his comment. Bonk Itai, Naruto shouted in pain as he held his head. Urza just left to hit the laughing Natsu. During Urza's spar with Natsu, Naruto snuck away so he could see who else came to Konoha with Mei. Naruto found his little sister, aunt, and uncle. Unai-chan, a little girl with yellow hair, shouted as she ran up and jumped into Naruto's arms. She was wearing a one-piece with a ribbon tied at the back. Kuu-chan. Naruto hugged her tightly. He then saw a slender yet shapely woman with fair skin and brown eyes. She had waist-length purple hair with shorter bangs in a Heim style. She wore the traditional attire of a Maiko, consisting of purple hakama, a white haori with a sash-like belt, wooden sandals, and a white ribbon to partially hold her hair in place, and a man with gray messy hair that hid part of his face. He wore a turtleneck sweater and sweatpants. Uncle Takehito and Aunt Mia, Naruto said happily. Due to his time with Shark and his other shinobi duties, Naruto had little time to spend with his babysitters, whom he considered family. Hello, Naruto-kun. How are you doing? Mia asked as she gave him a hug. Although Mia was the head of the Sekaiare, the clan was not big. Many members had left to find their loved ones, who were known as Ashikabi. Sekaiare are a special clan. Each member specializes in one type of power, which made them looked down upon, but they had far greater control over their own power than any shinobi ever would. For a Sekaiare, their chakra network is incomplete. A Sekaiare would always feel incomplete until they found their destined one, their Ashikabi. Mia found her Ashikabi and found happiness and a higher level in her powers. As for other Sekaiare, they were either traveling, dead, or at Maison Izumo, which was their clan compound turned into a boarding house. I'm fine, auntie, Naruto said, still holding onto Kuu. Kuu was one of Naruto's Sekaiare. As he spent a lot of time at Maison Izumo, he met many Sekaiare who reacted to him, Kuu being one of them. Takehito went over and rubbed his head. You look a little beat up there, Naruto. Why yeah. Mom didn't like the news I brought back. Merlin created a demon to be my personal maid, and Mom was a little mad about that. Let me guess, she's gorgeous, Takehito asked, earning a blush from Naruto. Now, dear Mia's aura became darker, and a Hanya mask came out as she turned towards her husband. You shouldn't talk about other women in front of your wife. Yeah, he dismissed her and her scary face as if it was nothing. Why are you here? Naruto asked curiously. He wouldn't have expected them to show up. They had little investment in the Chunin exam this year. Considering that Naruto was already a jonin, there was nothing for them to watch. Well, we heard about the letter from Jin, Takehito said while scratching the back of his head. Oh, Naruto understood now. Mia, number 01, the strongest Sekaiare, wasn't someone to mess with. She was pretty much here to protect Naruto from a possible 10 Commandments attack. So far, the only people capable of fighting one member in Konoha were Mei, Minato, Hiruzen, Itaki, Tsunai and B, Kushina, and now Mia. Only Mia was the only one out of the group who could handle a member on even ground. The others would need to team up to stand a chance. Naruto and his friends might have a chance, but the end result would be many deaths. A few days later Itaka finally healed and had to fulfill his end of the bet. He was at the barbecue with a few people already there with him. At the large table for Naruto and his friends were himself, Natsumai, the youngest Namikaze, Mito, Minato, Kushina, Mikato, and Hiruzen. Konohamaru had wanted to come along but was forbidden by his grandfather because of the predicted tension the table would have. Itake planned that if he lost, Naruto would meet his sister, but the rest of the Namikaze family insisted on coming. What Itake wouldn't expect was Naruto's own family showing up in the form of Mei, Kuu, Takehito, and Mia. Mia and Takehito treated Naruto as if he was their own child. Due to Takehito's status of being normal, he couldn't make Mia whole like any other Sekaiare and their own Ashikabi, but she didn't care. Mia loved Takehito, and that was all that mattered, but she was saddened that he wouldn't be able to give them a child, so they filled the void with Naruto and other young ones who lived in Maison Izumo. Naruto arrived for the free meals with his friends. Accompanying him besides his family, plus Yagura, were the team from Fairy Tail, Yuki, Haku, and Zest. Welcome, guests. Your table is this way. The waitress addressed the rather large group. Itaka's wallet would be missed tonight. Naruto-kun. I'm glad you could make it, Itaka said with a small smile. The man had a broken arm and a head injury. Naruto's last attack could have done more, but he had taken back control and stopped the attack from proceeding. They all saw the Namikaze family, and the entire situation became very intense for a few people. See, I told you he's fine, Natsu pointed out, oblivious to the situation. Ah, Natsu. I think it's not the time for this, Lucy said, already sensing the tension in the air. No, no. He's fine, Naruto said as he and others from his group took their seats. It's a free meal, so we should enjoy it. Besides, I think we can be civil about this, Naruto said as he glared at the Namikaze family. Minato and Kushina seemed happier to be given the chance to at least talk to Naruto, even with his own family there. Naruto sat between his mother, Mei, and next to him was Yuki. Kuo is going to sit with Unai-chan, Kuo announced as she sat on his lap. This earned jealous looks from a pair of girls. Yeah, Kuo-chan. The entire table was pretty divided. People from Konoha were on one side, and people from Kiri were on the other. Luckily, they had a couple of tables for everyone, so they managed to group up, but the tables were still divided. If it wasn't for Natsu, it would have been more awkward. He challenged both Naruto and Gray to an eating contest, where all three guys ended up on the floor with full stomachs. It didn't help Naruto that Kuo was still feeding him. Everyone else tried to enjoy the meal, but it was very difficult. Natsu and Gray would get into an argument every minute, where Urza had to step in. Urza was busy talking to both Yuki and Zest about girl stuff. Zest was still learning how to be normal, so she would try to learn from Naruto's friends. Mei and Yagura would discuss business with each other, then talk to Mikato, Hiruzen, or Itaki. Those three were the only people who were kind to Naruto during his time in Konoha. Mito and Natsumi, the youngest daughter of Minato and Kushina, would stick together, considering that their family was the third wheel. The girls would try to talk to Naruto's friends, but the girls, except for Zest, became awkward. It was hard to talk to them because they wanted to learn about Naruto's life in Kiri, and due to a lot of factors, they really couldn't talk about it. It was nice that Zest told them that Naruto, whom she referred to as her master, was a kind man who had accepted her when they first met. Then there was Gray and Natsu. They would tell her stories about all of their fights in the guild and how Naruto was born to be a part of Fairy Tail. Minato and Kushina would try to talk to Mei about handing over custody of Naruto to them, but she would always pull out the Hanya mask, which scared them off. Then they went to talk to Takehito and Mia. Unlike the other adults from Kiri, they could talk to them. Is there anything you can tell me about Naruto's life in Kiri? Kushina asked. He's like our son, Takehito answered straightforwardly, surprising the Namikazes. Mia only giggled. Mei couldn't be in the village all the time because of her duties, so she would leave Naruto-chan with us, Mia told them. She then took a sip of her tea and looked deeply into the cup. You see, I can't bear a child. No matter how much we tried, we couldn't. When Mei asked me to watch over him, I accepted right away. Naruto-chan would always play around the inn, and we would take baths together when he was younger. Takehito chuckled. When they learned that Mia couldn't have a child with him, she was depressed. Naruto entering their lives saved her. I know it hurts you that Naruto-kun considers someone besides you two as parents. I know it hurt us when he referred to Mei as his true mother, even though we spend time together as a family more often than Mei. Still, we accept the role of being his aunt and uncle, he said, placing his hands on his wife's shoulders, cheering her up. She was a little jealous of Mei because he always referred to her as mother and herself as auntie. Then they both went on to tell the biological parents about Naruto's childhood inside Maison Izumo. The Namikazes were obviously jealous of the Asama couple's involvement in Naruto's life but were happy to hear the stories. Mito went over to Naruto, who was sitting with Natsumi. Naruto was feeding Kuo when they arrived. Unai-chan, Mito said, trying to get Naruto's attention. He turned around with Kuo still on his lap. Kuo gave her a mean look. Unai-chan is my Unai-chan, Kuo announced while clinging on to Naruto tightly. Kuo was very possessive of Naruto, especially at home when his other Sekigahara were around. Naruto started to pet Kuo in an attempt to calm her. Now, Kuo-chan, you don't have to be rude. Mito-san, I'm sorry to say, but I'm not your brother. Not anymore. Mito gritted her teeth. She wouldn't accept that. Then what about Natsumi-chan? What is she to you then? Natsumi gave Naruto a sad puppy dog look. Natsumi was like him, with the red hair that both inherited from Kushina. The only difference between the two was that Natsumi's eyes were like her mother's, while Naruto's eye color was still unknown. I'm sorry, but I don't know her. This is the first time I'm meeting her, Naruto said. He knew that she was his little sister based on her appearance alone, but he only considered Kuo as his only sister. He saw her start to cry. He then took Kuo off of him and went over to the crying child. His older brother instinct took over. There, little one, he said as he gave her a hug. Kuo was standing beside Mito while the others in the restaurant watched their interaction. I know that your mommy and daddy told you that I'm your brother, but they're wrong. Natsumi only continued to cry. She had wanted to meet her Unai-chan since she first heard of him. Family isn't blood, Natsumi-chan. Family is bonds. The bonds that you build with someone, that is family. I'm sorry that I can't be your Unai-chan, but I can be your friend. Many were surprised by his views on family, except for those from Fairy Tail. It was the same for them. In fact, it was where Naruto learned what family truly was. Natsumi started to wipe her tears away. "Will Sniffle you be my Sniffle Unai-chan then?" she asked between sobs. "In time, Natsumi-chan." He then brought her, along with Mito and Kuo, to his table to eat. It was a little difficult at first being with his biological siblings. Natsumi quickly recovered from Naruto's rejection of being her brother and enjoyed the time she was spending with him now. Kuo and Natsumi would fight over who sat on Naruto's lap, which Natsumi won after a little game. Mito and Naruto had a difficult time talking to each other. She had learned about Naruto's life in Kiri from his friends and knew that it was better than his life in Konoha, but she still tried to get Naruto to come back, only to fail. All of her attempts to convince Naruto to return to Konoha had failed. To him, it would mean throwing away his family, which he would never do. At the end of dinner, Itachi was out of money. Sure, he enjoyed learning about Naruto's life, but his friends could eat a lot too much for his wallet. He would need to take on a few more high-level missions to pay off the rest of the meal. Naruto had confronted his past, but it was time to confront his parents. "Naruto, would you please come back to Konoha?" Minato asked desperately while bowing. Kushina was already crying as Naruto was leaving with his group. "I'm sorry, Hokage-san, but I can't abandon my family." "We're your family," Kushina shouted. "I'm sorry about what we did to you. I can't accept that, Namikaze-san. There is something I learned while traveling the world. I can't accept you two or the people of Konoha. When I see them, I can see every single cruelty they have done against me. They are very sorry, Naruto. Like we are. To accept forgiveness would be saying that all the pain I went through is meaningless. I won't have that. I can't forget the past and can't see into the future without seeing the past. I will never accept Konoha as my home or the Namikazes as my family." Naruto then turned around. "I hope that you can move on from me, Namikaze-san, for Natsumi's sake." Naruto might hate his parents, but he did build something with Natsumi, and she would need them. It was then that Naruto and the others left. Minato and Kushina were left crying. Mikoto and Hiruzen did their best to cheer them up. They could only look sadly at how much they had messed up with Naruto. Stadium. It was the day of the finals of the Chunin exams. Everything was going well. All the other kage from the main villages arrived to see the finals. The daimyo were enjoying the fights and seeing the next generation of shinobi. Yuki's match against Suzuki went well for her. She was superior in every way possible due to her being from the hero tribe. She did have difficulty with dealing with his newfound speed, but it didn't have strength behind it. She was able to take his hits without a problem. When Suzuki pulled out his Chidori, Yuki simply used wind magic to counter it. Even though magic and chakra are different, the advantage of elemental types still applied to each other. This earned her a victory when she conjured up a powerful tornado to block/attack Suzuki as he charged at her. The match between Niji and Mito went as expected. Niji managed to block all her chakra points with his clan technique. What surprised everyone was that Niji learned how to use the ultimate defense of the Hyuga clan. It was then that Mito drew on the power of the Kyuubi to overpower him and beat him with the trickery of shadow clones. Then Lucy and Kin fought. That battle was an eye-opener. It was the first time that the public saw a celestial spirit. She summoned Cancer to go against Kin. Due to Kin's specialty being Genjutsu, she lost against the hair-cutting crab. She wasn't aware that Genjutsu doesn't affect anyone without a chakra network. The battle between Natsu and Gray was the most favored. The two went all out against each other. Ice and fire spells being cast in the arena surprised most people. The cages noticed the tenacity of both competitors. They recommended that they be promoted to Chunin but failed to realize that the system in Kiri worked differently from the others. Ranks only applied to ninja, not wizards. In the end, it ended in a draw. The next match to come up was Temari against Samui. In the Jonin booth, Naruto, Killer Bee, Zabuza, Mainjutsu, Urza, and Yujito were together watching the genin. "Fool! I told ya that I won this pool." Bee rapped horribly. It was then that Naruto and Mainjutsu handed a stack of Ryo to Killer Bee. Apparently, they had made a bet about who was going to win between Natsu and Gray. Naruto believed that the pink-haired dragon slayer would win, and Mainjutsu had his money on the ice stripper. However, Bee threw in a curveball, saying that no one would win. Yujito and Urza were talking to each other. "Boys. They will never change," Yujito commented about how childishly they were behaving. "I swear that they will never grow up," Urza added. With her own experience in Fairy Tail, she knew what men would be like. "How have you been, Yujito?" "It's boring being a Chunin. I have to do low-rank missions," she complained. As the only one to make Chunin at a young age, she wasn't given many high-level missions. This was mainly due to her age and her status as a Jinchuriki. Her training was the priority for either Raikage. "It looks like Samui is up," Yujito pointed out. "She's a capable warrior. She will do well," Urza said. Battle between blondes. "This is going to be intense," Naruto shouted, annoying a certain blonde fiancé copyright E. She then threw a kunao at him. It grazed him. The battle between the two kunoichi was fierce. Both showed wisdom and power above their rank and age. Temari used the advantage of her wind release to counter Samui's lightning release, but Samui used Temari's weakness to close-quarters combat, even though she was a wind user. Both girls looked like they were about to fall down at the next attack. It was then that feathers started to fall. "What the?" Gray shouted as he noticed everyone started to fall asleep. "Why the hell are you people falling asleep? The fight is getting good." Natsu complained to the people falling asleep. He found it rude that they were falling asleep during an awesome match. As mages or wizards, they weren't affected by genjutsu due to the lack of a chakra network. As for the others, they knew what to do. Kai, the Jonin of Kiri, Konoha, Kumo, and Iwa released the genjutsu that someone was trying to place on everyone. Boom! The cage box exploded. "Mom!" Naruto ran toward the explosion where his mother was watching from. The entire stadium soon erupted into a war. Sound and Sand Shinobi started to attack Konoha. While Naruto headed off to Mei, the others started to regroup, protect civilians, or the daimyo. Killer Bee followed Naruto as he was the strongest who was capable of helping the cage. It was then that several umbu showed up on the roof with Eni written on their blank masks. "Trace on," he shouted as he formed Emiya's signature weapons. He slashed them down without hesitation. Even though Naruto didn't know who they were, Bee did. He recognized them to be from Danzo's root program because there were many root agents found in Kumo and other countries acting as spies and terrorists. The two continued to the roof where the cage stood, on the roof where it looked like a battle was being held between the Kaze cage, who was revealed to be Orochimaru. The snake Sunin was facing down the Tsuchikage, Hokage, Mizu cage, and Reikage, but he had a confident smirk. Naruto was one rooftop away from where they were until someone attacked him. "Watch out, Lil 9! Be shouted in time for Naruto to dodge the incoming wave of sand. There stood Gaara with a bloodthirsty grin across from the two. "Terumi, you will prove my existence." Gaara had been convinced into believing that Naruto was the strongest of his age group, so he should challenge him. Naruto stared him down. He then jumped to the side to try to get past him, only for the sand to force him back. "Damn it!" Naruto gritted his teeth. "Go, Bee, I'll deal with him." Bee nodded and left to go for his brother. The entire village erupted into a complete war zone. Genin teams from Konoha started to help evacuate civilians. Teams from outside of Konoha took orders from their Jonin teachers to protect MVPs and help eliminate the enemy. There was some talk about not getting involved with Konoha's problem, but the fact was that Suna and Oto Shinobi were attacking everyone. Zest was busy looking for Naruto so she could aid her master. Mainjutsu took his little brother and Zabuza to start killing Suna and Oto Shinobi all around the village. It was declared that there would be a temporary alliance until the threat passed. Yujito took control of Killer Bee's team to protect all the daimyo. Urza led Gray and Natsu to attack the enemy in the stadium. Lucy and Happy followed Yujito. Mia was busy protecting her family at the stands, frightening everyone with her sheer power and her killing intent. During the entire assault, there were reports of umbu with Eni written on them attacking everyone: Konoha, Kiri, Suna, Iwa, civilians, Kumo, and the daimyo. Of course, they were more assassinating than killing because they had specific targets in mind, so they were declared as one of Orochimaru's forces. Naruto's fight with Gaara didn't last long. Naruto managed to trace powerful blades to break through Gaara's defense and injure him. When he showed signs of taking on a full-tailed beast transformation, he took it another notch and aimed to kill. Gaara was wounded badly and couldn't fight anymore. Before he could end it, Gaara's siblings showed up along with Zest, who had followed them. "Don't you dare hurt him. I don't care how powerful you are. I'll kill you before you harm him again," shouted a very angry Temari. Gaara looked very surprised at his older sister's actions. She was using her body as a shield for Gaara, while Kankuro had two puppets ready. During the entire fight, the two redheads had an intense talk. Naruto tried to convince Gaara to stop and try to build a connection. He said that during his time in Konoha, he was hunted down and nearly killed many times. He was alone even when his family was around, just like he was. The only difference was that Gaara had his siblings trying to reach out for him, unlike his. "See, Gaara. Your brother and sister do love you," Naruto pointed out as he dissolved his twin blades into magic particles. "Love?" Gaara questioned. "Yeah, love. They love you. The kind of love to give you the strength to become stronger so you can protect the ones you love." The siblings didn't let down their guard. "Go take him. Get out of here before you're captured by Konoha." "Thank you," Temari said, but without letting her guard down. She and Kankuro went over to pick up their injured little brother. "Wait!" Gaara shouted before they could start to jump away. They turned Gaara toward Naruto, who seemed to be checked on by Zest for any injuries. "Why?" Naruto could only scoff at his question. "We're the same. We both have our own burden, that we never asked for. Our parents forced this on us, and we suffer for it. I left Konoha so I could live. Doing that led me to find my real family. Gaara looked confused at this statement. To his knowledge, his real family should be the Hokage and his family, not Mei Terumi. Family is people that love you no matter what. People that will be there for you in your times of need. He then pointed to Temari and Kankuro. Those two are your family. Real family, unlike your father, who sees you as a weapon. They tried to reach out for you, but you slapped them away. Go home. Let them reach out to you again, but welcome them this time instead of slapping them away. You'll finally understand love that way. Gaara looked content with the answer, then fell asleep. Gaara, Kankuro said as he noticed his brother looking peaceful for the first time in a long time. Thank you, he said to Naruto. No problem. Just get home and get there fast. Don't trust anyone until you get there. There are people that would love to get him while he is like this, Naruto replied. They will have to walk over my dead body to do that. Temari and Kankuro both shouted. They might be afraid of Gaara, but they love him. Naruto only smiled at that and nodded. The Tsunagenin then left, making their way home, far from Konoha. Is it wise to let them go, Naruto-sama? Zest asked. Yeah. He just needs someone to beat some sense into him, he said, raising a thumbs up. I think I did a good job at that. Zest only smiled at her master's actions. She had grown fond of his kindness for those who needed it. Let's go. The two then headed off to the cage battle roof. There stood Killer Bee and 3 Konoha Umbu, including Itaki. Naruto arrived and was filled in on the details. Apparently, Orochimaru's personal bodyguards had set up a powerful barrier to keep everyone out while he summoned the deceased Hokage onto the field. Mei and I took on Hashirama, but his would release proved to live up to the legend. Oniki and Minato faced Tobirama, but faced similar problems. Considering that Tobirama invented the Flying Thunder God, he was able to hold his own against Minato and knew the particle release. Orochimaru was personally fighting against his sensei, Hiruzen Sarutobi, whom he allowed enough time to get into the barrier. We need to get in there now, Itaki shouted. He noticed that the situation was bad. I and Mei were looking a little exhausted from constantly having to destroy all the wood to get to Hashirama. Minato and Oniki weren't looking good either. Oniki managed to put up a better fight due to his past experience against him and kept his distance with his flying jutsu. Minato was bleeding out. He managed to dodge a barrage of kunao but failed to dodge his Flying Thunder God slash and lost his arm. It seemed that the creator managed to outdo the one who perfected the technique. Lastly, Sarutobi used the Reaper Death Seal and attacked the reanimated Hokage and Orochimaru. I'm on it. Trace on. Naruto traced an odd-looking dagger. Get ready, he told them. The Umbu looked confused but got ready nevertheless. Killer Bee knew that dagger. Rule breaker, Naruto shouted as he stabbed the barrier. It then went down, and everyone jumped into action while Naruto looked a little tired. The dagger that Naruto created, Rule Breaker, could revert anything it touched to what it was before and make it easily manipulatable. Naruto simply erased the barrier, converting it back to chakra and making it so that it couldn't turn into a barrier. B jumped over to check on Mei and I, who were suffering from minor chakra exhaustion and several bruises. The Umbu went over to start healing Minato and check on Oniki. By the time the barrier went down, Sarutobi had managed to seal the reanimated Hokage and seal Orochimaru's arms. Itaki went straight for Orochimaru to finish him. That's when Orochimaru's bodyguards surprised him with a chakra-coated web that sent him back. The others recovered Orochimaru and began to run away. Zest was helping Naruto stand Naruto-sama. Orochimaru got away. He won't get away next time, he told her while using her as support to stand up. Creating the rule breaker took a lot of prana and concentration. The ability to pretty much alter reality is very powerful, even if it is a weak replica. He attacked the entire elemental nation to kill Jiji, Naruto said sadly. Zest only held him closer to comfort him. Everyone would be out for his head. He then started to walk over toward Mei. Mom, Mei looked relieved as she got back up. Naruto, she then started to walk over to check on her son. However, boom bang aha, everyone on the roof shouted. The entire roof was bombarded with explosions that weren't chakra-based. They were magic-based. The Umbo had already taken Minato to the hospital to heal him. Oniki flew upward. Ianbi jumped off the roof along with Mei. Itaka jumped away too. Only Naruto and Zest were caught in the blast and crashed into the middle of the stadium, which was cleared out. It got the attention of everyone still remaining. In the smoke of the roof stood two figures. One was a very tall and muscular man, and wore a brown long coat with golden gauntlets and boots. He had silver hair and noticeable facial stubble. He had the same demonic mark that Naruto had during his match with Itaki. The other figure was a short person who could be considered a child. He had black hair and the same demon mark on his forehead like the other one. These two were Estarossa and Zuldries, members of the 10 Commandments and the strongest of the group. Everyone had a bad feeling about them. They were giving off a very dark aura. Only Naruto, Zest, Yuki, Urza, Mei, Mia, Takedo, Killer Bee, and Yagura knew who they were, and they were terrified. They had been attacked by Orochimaru and were tired from the battle. Most of all of them were on their knees and couldn't get up to fight. Everyone was, civilian, shinobi, both friendly and hostile. Damn it! Why can't I move? What happened to me? Damn you, Demon King's son! Many shouted. Kushina and Mei were the loudest because they were trying to reach Naruto. Naruto and the others who knew already knew the truth behind their inability to fight. Only a handful of people knew who the two demons really are due to them being trained/prepared for them. I am Estarossa of the 10 Commandments. He who has been bestowed the commandment of charity from the Demon King, he announced to the fighters. Charity, Demon King, you're a demon? Go die, many shouted. Anyone who holds hatred in their hearts before me loses all their means to hurt or inflict damage to anyone, he announced to the mad and confused shinobi. This shocked them that their inability to fight was due to this demon. The two jumped down from the roof and landed in front of Naruto. There's the target, brother, Zildjian pointed toward Naruto. Should I fetch him or you, he asked. Out of the two, his brother, Estarossa, was the more powerful one. Before he could say anything, Zildjian was attacked by Mia and was easily pushed away from Naruto but failed to get Estarossa due to him dodging. She was planning to take on both, but only managed to get one, and Zildjian wasn't going to allow her to leave the fight between the two. Mia had enough power to withstand the power of the commandments from the Demon King. Mei, and the others had training to fight against a couple of commandments, but they needed to be at full power. Estarossa started to walk over to Naruto, who was overzealous, trying his best to protect her. Damn it! That attack blocked my demon power, Naruto thought angrily. He knew who was attacking and knew that he would need it to stand a chance. It's finally nice to meet you, my nephew. He then kicked Naruto off of Zest harshly and followed the trail to Naruto. This surprised everyone who didn't know Naruto's circumstances. You're not my family, Naruto shouted through the pain. Our older brother, Meliodas' blood, runs in your veins. That makes you his son and my nephew, he said as he summoned his blade, Rebellion. Naruto, Mei and Mia shouted. Mei and the others still couldn't move. Mia couldn't get out of the fight with Zildjian without being severely injured. Others were shell-shocked about the news, especially Kushina, Kakashi, Mito, and Itachi. If what Estarossa said was true, that would mean that Naruto truly is a demon. They couldn't believe it, but Itachi remembered the mark on Naruto as it matched the one on the two attackers. I will love you, nephew, but you follow the traitor brother, so I have to do this. Please forgive me. He kicked Naruto over so he would show his chest toward him. Estarossa could be considered a family man, but in his own way. Ah ha ha ha. Naruto shouted in pain as Estarossa implanted one rebellion into Naruto's chest. Many started to struggle to get free from the commandment but failed. Yuki, Haku, and Zest were crying as they could only watch as the one they loved was being brutally killed. Naruto continued to scream in pain from the additional blades being implanted into him. Many started to cry due to their uselessness against the demons. Mia tried her best to end the fight with Zildjian, but his skill proved to be good enough to be the Demon King's son. Forgive me, nephew, he said with a tear as he had one last blade ready to stab him. No, Naruto/Naruto-kun, please stop, several girls and friends shouted. Splash blood shot out of Naruto and the blade. Estarossa used the last blade to cut out Naruto's heart. Many started to cry, believing that Naruto was killed. It was then the shadows started to surround Naruto, and a massive killing intent erupted from the shadow. Out from the shadow came two figures, a man and a woman. The woman held on to Naruto. Naruto-kun, she whispered. She started to heal him as best as she could as she knew the truth of Naruto. As a part demon, he had multiple hearts, but due to his own unique situation, Naruto had 2 hearts. His other heart was stabbed but was still beating. The woman is an extremely beautiful woman. She has long purple hair and red eyes and wears a full-body outfit that highlights her curvaceous body. She started to heal his other heart, so he would survive. The man only stared down Estarossa, who was holding Naruto's heart and placed it into a bag. Scathatch, how is Naruto doing? The man asked. The man was an average-sized, slim man with long, brown hair and glasses. He wore armor similar to Yuki's armor. I need to focus on healing him, Jin. Take care of that bastard, she said darkly and went on to heal Naruto as best as she could. The two people were Scathatch, ruler of the Land of Shadow and a very powerful woman. The other is Jin Tujiao, a powerful warrior of the hero tribe that many demons believe to be a war god. These two were easily on par with the 10 commandments like Mia. Jin then summoned a broadsword and charged. You'll pay for harming the brat, Jin shouted as the two clashed blades.